Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, officially live. Shout out to everybody in here.
Let's
We
go.
have a very special guest today, Beyond the Fan. For those of you who don't know, major supporter of the channel, also a content creator. I've got to share my screen here, give him a little introduction.
Let's go.
But if we go to his YouTube channel, okay, it's working. Beyond the Fan here, 373 subscribers, 112 videos. Probably started roughly the same time. I think a little bit after we started our channel. But
Yeah, we'll get into that though in a second.
but yeah, it's that I mean,
So yeah, let's just start with the first question. So like your channel was originally covering like was it covering What If, or was it just covering like superheroes in general? Or
It's a good question. So I've always wanted to kind of do something a bit more creative, and I finally just got the kind of, I don't know what you call it, but the impetus to do something on YouTube. And I thought, well, I like pop culture stuff, so did a bit of research first and said, whatever your channel is, it's never going to be what you think it's going to be. So I kind of just started at the beginning, just doing kind of general pop culture stuff, like my thoughts on recent movies. What If was kind of popular for me at the time. But then I got into like Veve. I just almost discovered it by accident. And as soon as I started talking about Veve, I noticed this kind of huge turnaround on my channel. So going from like 10 subs to like 200 subs in a matter of a month, and the videos and views just shot up as soon as I started talking about Veve. So I kind of talk about the YouTube side of things of niching down. So you kind of start quite broad, and you find what your focus is. So I think for me, I've went for that kind of pop culture. I've got like a pop culture tech background, but to narrow it down to Veve, and even within that to be like Veve collectibles, I think more in the comics for me has been really useful on my channel. I always found when I do a comics video, doesn't perform as well as a collectibles video. So even just having that bit of analysis around it. So yeah, I started probably 4th October doing Veve stuff. And in terms of when my channel started, I think it was back in June, July time, like the first, I guess when Shang-Chi was coming out in cinemas, when about that time.
okay, that's interesting.
How did you originally find out about Veve?
So that's quite interesting. So as part of my research about pop culture, I'd been watching Josh over at Den of Nerds. He does a lot of pop culture spoiler stuff, and he was been doing a live stream talking about one of the upcoming shows. And at the same time, the drop was happening for Veve when he was streaming. So you had to kind of mind the chat to say to him, mind me at 4 p.m. for me, the Veve drop's happening. And I'm like, what's Veve? So he kind of talks about it, and he's got like membership. So I joined one of his memberships, and he talked about more in there, in more detail in Discord and live chat, and that's kind of my exposure to it. So that was probably middle of September. I seen that, thought that's quite interesting. That's kind of way up my street. I'll download the app and kind of explore it a bit more. Just my only regret was not getting in sooner.
Getting into Veve because you're big into Marvel, right? And like that niche in general, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, I'd say probably anything like Marvel, DC, science fiction. I'm one of those people that I kind of have a finger a lot of different pies, but not maybe in-depth knowledge as someone who's like a diehard Marvel Comics fan from like the 70s would know. So I kind of have like a general detailed awareness of what's pop culture stuff, but I couldn't necessarily quote you all the storylines from Spider-Man one from the 70s to sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of hardcore knowledge. So it's what I really like about the community is there's people out there with that knowledge who are willing to share it. So like Stream Comics is an amazing person just to listen to and talk about comics because he's got such a in-depth knowledge around the comics, which, I don't know about you guys, but I would never have the time to kind of get up to speed on the comics. So it's good just to go to someone like that and hear what he's got to say. Or Comics and Crypto, now a good example of people who are sharing stuff.
Definitely
they're
agree
both,
with that.
Super big into the physical stuff. I see some physical collectibles behind you. What's like your biggest collection, or like what have you collected in the past and stuff?
So again, I've never really collected things. I'd be big into like getting the correct edition of a video game. So I've got lots of the Halo stuff back in the day. So I've got like, the original Master Chief's helmet. I've got the kind of Halo Reach squad guys on the kind of sculpture, that kind of stuff. We had the Xbox 360 back when that came out. It was the Halo version. So it's more like what I've liked. A lot of people give me like pop vinyl as presents because they don't know what to get me. So that's fun. As a kid, I collected all the Spider-Man 2099 comics. So I got the entire run of that. I wasn't like super popular. Well, I don't think it's worth much, but I kind of just liked collecting stuff.
Yeah.
Did a lot of kind of Star Wars LCG games as well and trading card games. I started collecting that for a bit until I fell away from that. So it's just like, it's like a real mixture of different stuff that I pick up. I find, for me, it's more what I find interesting rather than get everything I set sort of thing. So I've got like, I think you ever played Fallout in the video game, but I've got like the Pip-Boy you can put in your arm. I've got that as part of the collector's editions, just stuff like that really.
Yeah. Were you into like Magic or anything like that when you mentioned the card games?
No, I've tried it. I mean, I've liked it, but I was more into the IP of Star Wars and things like that because it was like Han Solo as a character rather than a mage as a character. So I kind of that drew me in more than the actual mechanics of the game. Plus with Magic, the way it works, they rotate out the card set quite quickly, so you have to keep constantly buying the new cards instead. Whereas the Star Wars one, it's a bit easy to kind of keep up the pace with the latest releases and stuff. But
go ahead.
I don't know. I was gonna say let's get into the drop in a second, but I also wanted to ask you guys, what do you think is coming on New Year's Eve? Because there's a drop coming New Year's Eve, and we don't know what it is yet. So I feel like they got to drop Boba Fett. That'd be perfect.
I hope so. Wait, when does that series premiere? Do you know, Beyond?
Tomorrow. It's Wednesday.
Okay.
So it's 8 a.m. for me, so in about 10 hours. I think it's 3 o'clock for you guys. Depending on
yeah.
And that's on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to check, but I don't even know if I still have my Disney Plus membership, but
you should.
Well, yeah.
Because we got it in November.
That's true. I did want to ask though, getting into Veve, so like you mentioned kind of into collecting, not like, super collector or anything like that, but getting into Veve where you're looking at it more of as like an investment versus collecting, or just like a fun kind of pop culture, like, I don't know, phenomena to investigate. And then once you found like the major brands like Marvel and DC and stuff, is that where you found like your niche within the app, or what kind of like drew you in and kind of kept you coming back to the app?
So I suppose for me, it's probably as investment, but it's that kind of fun investment. I'm not doing it to get rich. I'm not doing it to like 10x in the week. So I'm just doing it because it's easier than trying to do stocks and stuff, or even crypto. It's really simple. And so someone like me, it's not done anything kind of crypto related before or NFT related before. It was a real simple way for me to kind of get in. And what kind of kept me coming back was the drop mechanics and the drops itself, and just the kind of the fun excitement, hanging out in the stream with Vault and being in the chat with people, just all amped up for drops. Really part of the experience for me. Do you know what I mean? I think if I was doing it by myself in like a dark room somewhere, it would be quite as enjoyable as doing it with other people. So that's kind of kept me coming back. But I'm quite happy with it. And definitely feel like the comics, I always try and go for a comic on a drop. But see, if I don't get it the drop, I tend not to try and pick it up aftermarket just now. I tend to kind of keep, because I don't have a huge amount to put in to Veve, I tend to keep the gems for collectibles, because I feel that's where the value is longer term, definitely. I don't know, comics could be there, but I've not seen it yet. I don't see, personally for me, the appeal for me is the collectibles and having it set up in AR and having it, what you could do with that in the future. Yeah. So like a statue, I think, is more potential than a comic book in the future.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to like convince like somebody to collect the collectibles instead of the comics, because a lot of people don't really want, I mean, like new users, when they don't even have an NFT or anything, they're so much easier to just like show them the collectible like standing in the room or something compared to like the comic book. I don't know. That's just my opinion on them though.
Yeah,
I still do like them though.
I'd agree. I do think like once you're in the app and you kind of find the comics, I think you find that like niche or whatever, because I've gotten pulled into comics. Like I would have never seen myself interested in them before, and now I'm like way more interested in comics than I was in the past. So it's interesting to see that. But yeah, I definitely agree when you said like it's a fun investment or whatever. I couldn't agree more, because like, I don't know, compared to stocks, it's interesting. Like, I don't know. I find that stuff interesting, but yeah, definitely. I just like have so much fun with Veve, the community with Veve, and then like if I make money in the process of collecting, that's cool. Like it's a fun little.
The drops on Thursday for the new comics. Do you want to get into those, Ben?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't mess up.
A secret rare. Have you ever gotten a secret rare?
No, I think the best I've got in a drop is like an uncommon for a comic and a rare for a collectible.
Really? Yeah, no ultra rare or secret rare ever.
Definitely no secret rare, no ultra rare.
Crazy. That is, man.
I keep saying I'm saving up my luck for the Pokemon drop.
Yeah, honestly though, because it really is just like luck summed down, And so I don't know. Maybe next one, maybe this 1,000 comic or this 1,000 mint comic drop, you'll see some luck. But that is wild. How many drops? I mean, like. you said you don't have much to put in. We're definitely in a similar position. At least like I definitely feel that because I'm very hesitant to put more in. And have you like participated in like every drop, or do you kind of pick and choose specifically, or do you kind of look to, buy like group, flip it, and just kind of like participate in everything, but flip what you don't want?
Yeah, so I'd probably say to start with, I was trying to go for every drop and try and pick things up, and then realize actually that's too many drops happening at
Yeah,
a time.
yeah.
So I tend to have enough gems, like kind of liquid, to go for anything that comes up the next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and then go from there, just depending what's happening in the market. But I tend to keep things I really like. So I keep the set for Voltron just because I'm a big fan of the anime
Yeah,
through
yeah.
2016. So I keep that set, whereas other things I'm more happy to kind of sell and let go or maybe buy back in the future sort of thing.
Yeah. Somebody was asking, what are your thoughts on the Voltron set? Because you mentioned you're a fan, and I'm interested to hear because I don't know much about Voltron, but seeing the collectible drew me in,
They
and
look
now I want
sweet.
yeah, like that's one of my favorites on it. Like I love how it looks, and I've thought about picking up the set, but it also makes me want to look into like the anime or whatever. I think Netflix released one, and then there's like some older original series, but yeah.
Yeah, so Netflix bought almost like a reboot in 2016, and it's quite unusual because they had planned out and spent the money to make like I think it was 7 seasons at the time. So they said to the creators, "You'll have these 7 seasons to do the whole story arc," which is really unusual, I think, because Netflix famously will do like one season at a time and potentially cancel it
Yeah.
after that first season. So it's good to see it that way. So it was a complete story, and it's a bit cartoonish, like geared towards like young adults, but I still find it quite enjoyable. And just the idea of these people coming together, discovering these magical robots, and then taking
Yeah.
on Galactic Empire. It's quite a fun romp. It's 20 minutes episode. It's not a huge commitment in time. It
Oh
was
yeah.
coming out at time. In terms of the set, it was interesting that from the story, it's 5 lines that come together and form Voltron. So it was interesting that the set was just different poses of Voltron rather than separate ones of the lines. Because it could have done one where if you have all the lines, the bonus secret layer could be Voltron.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping maybe at some point in the future, because what we also had was a castle, which was where the lines and the Voltron stays when it's not formed. So maybe the castle could be potentially airdropped at some point in the future as like a secret thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know how likely that would be. But that'd be cool if it happened.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. I hope they start doing more like airdrops or something, because I think that's really going to get a lot of collectors happy and like start holding more sets instead of like, oh, I'm going to hold 30 Wonder Womans or something like that. Just instead of like stacking, they'd actually have more sets.
Yeah. I'm very
Sorry, go
interested
ahead.
to see that. Final like thought on the Voltron set that I just want to say, if you're looking at picking that up and you don't already have it, I feel like right now is one of the better times. I think it's kind of things are on the rise, but I don't know if you've seen Beyond the Fan, but like I was watching the Voltron set and the prices seem to be pretty low, like at their lowest points recently. So if you're looking to get into that, I think it's a decent opportunity right about now. Yeah, I mean, we can get into feel as if Veve is a fresh start for collectors, investors, crypto people. Yeah, that's definitely what it feels like. I mean, I kind of want to touch on this a little. So what do you think about the community for Veve? Because for me, it's been, I've never witnessed a community like this. I've never felt like I've been a part of a community like I've felt, in Veve. It's very interesting, and I'd wonder what your thoughts are on that.
I'd absolutely agree. I mean, I felt like part of communities when I was like playing card games because we'd all meet up at kind of a local place and get together. But now I kind of feel that sense of community online. It's always kind of felt online with friends and then like strangers, and you have to sort of chat about something, and that was it. Whereas with Veve community, it feels like there's people supporting each other, helping each other out. If someone's got like a piece of information, a tip, etc., they don't just keep it to themselves. They kind of willing to share it, whether it's on Facebook, Discord, or on YouTube. So that's quite unusual, I find. I think other, I don't know about crypto spaces, but I think other spaces I've been involved in, it has been more about, even with pop culture, it's been like Marvel versus DC, and it's the Marvel fans going to go to the DC fans rather than, people just coming together and saying we all enjoy a good film or a good comic. It's, let's share that. So that's quite interesting. I hope it stays that way going forward as more people get into the community, don't get in that kind of tribalism or divisions.
Yeah, I definitely hope it stays like a melting pot or whatever it is would be considered right now, because it's really I don't know. It's crazy just to think about other social media platforms. And like you were saying, I've never really met or, connected with anybody online. And now I don't know, I've met so many people, like including you, but all these other people that I've met online. And it's bizarre, but really fun at the same time. Cause that's like a new experience for me. But
Yeah, Beyond the Fan, you were one of our like first
yeah.
subscribers, like first commenters and stuff. You were commenting with your old channel or your other channel, I guess. So sweet.
I do want to ask though, so what is your like portfolio or your collection looking like on Veve? Like how many collectibles and sets do you have total? And how many of those would you say are comics versus collectibles? Because I know you said you're more into collectibles.
So interestingly, just before 12 days of EV, I sold off pretty much all my comics. I got into Zeal just now just to get the gems because I felt like I wanted to keep the collectibles more. And I think for me personally, that was a good decision because it allowed me to get stuff I couldn't have got otherwise. So probably around about 25 collectibles and probably 2 sets.
Okay.
And I'm quite happy with that. I always said I'd like it to be more, but I kind of feel like because I'm not trying to like get a quick investment, I could have, for example, Mickey, I've got Mickey, I could have sold that potentially at 450, 500 gems at one point and done a kind of quick turnaround in the gems, but I actually hold it just now and see where it's at in a year from now rather than sell stuff just now. So I tend now just to sell if I absolutely need to. And I'd rather sell at a point where the market's a good place for selling rather than just selling because, Boba Fett or something's coming out on the app.
Yeah, I definitely, that's a hard decision because even though I'm not big into comics and I don't know a bunch about it, I'm still always like, I should hold these just to be safe. But I definitely like my favorites are probably in the collectibles. And when you mentioned Mickey, do you have the ultra rare, common, or uncommon?
It's common I've got for Mickey.
Okay, I was about to say because if you had the ultra rare, you could definitely quick flip and buy a bunch of other stuff because that's what I ended up doing. But yeah, that's
do you guys know what like NBA Top Shots does with the collector challenges? Because it sounds pretty interesting. I've never seen like NBA Top Shots what they do.
I don't know anything about it. I mean, speculating it could be if you hold certain things, you get like an achievement or a badge to put in your vault sort of thing. So maybe if you've got, different versions of different characters, like one Batman for every season, a Batman White, for example, you'd get something like that. I don't know, but all the villains from Batman, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be so sweet. They are gonna give out badges for stuff, so I bet they do something like that.
Yeah, if you can explain more what that is, JJ, we definitely, talk about it. But yeah, as of right now, all we know of is like the Master Collector program type gamification challenge related stuff that they've mentioned. So
what I like about Veve just now, is they're quite fluid because it's still like pre-launch, still in beta. So any good ideas like that, I'm sure try it out and take it on board. Like MCP, I think it's changed at least 3 times that we know about before it's even launched. So and I think whatever other people are doing in other spaces, we'll just copy what's working well and innovate for known space. So I'm looking forward to what we do next.
I saw somebody post on Facebook that the Master Collectors program is coming in 2 weeks, but I don't know where they saw that at. Yeah, I don't know if I believe it or what. But
like maybe phase 1, but we still have 3 phases.
Yeah. So thoughts on Veve having 10,000 mints of the same collectible, but other projects only have 10,000 mints of unique designs.
Yeah,
we kind of talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, I want to know kind of this versus also like OpenSea portrait projects, those type of 1-of-1s, and I guess you can consider other type of 1-of-1 like 10,000 mint projects. But yeah, I definitely want to know what you think about this because
are you into portrait projects at all? Like, do you?
No, one, it's because I don't have the cash to put into it, and 2, unless it's something that was early days or it's got some sort of huge backing or some sort of potential, it's like 99% of it is just people copying like Bored Apes and then hoping to kind of get a quick flip, and the other 1% is valuable, but you don't know what that 1% is. And I think unless it's something like Bored Apes, it's too volatile as well, like as a longer term proposition. Whereas like something like Veve, whatever my collectible is today, it's probably going to retain most of that value going forward, if not more. Whereas a JPEG kind of copycat type thing could quickly lose that value within hours and nobody getting it back in the future. And in terms of like uniqueness, I don't know. I'd probably consider the fact that each collectible's got a unique mint number as in of itself making it a bit unique. I mean, I hope that's something they do in the future is having a way of showing like on the actual collectible itself, it's mint number, so it's a bit more easy to see this is something unique, even though we all know it's unique because you can't have two of the same mint number for a collectible.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be something to kind of show it off, because I mean they could do some sort of variation on a pose or colorization or something like that to kind of make it a bit more unique.
Yeah.
But I always think about collectibles in the real world. You know, you'll have, like, for example, my Halo Master Chief's helmet. I mean, that's a limited number, but they're all the same. They're not different. It's just it's the only thing that's really different is the number. You know, in terms of this is edition 1042 compared to 1043. So I don't see it personally as a huge issue. I think that's something that's probably more appealing for people in terms of people who don't have a huge amount of money to invest. Is there's safety in numbers. So if we all invest in, you know, Homer and Bart, for example, there's not just one Homer and Bart. There's, you know, hundreds of Homer and Bart you can invest in. So is that kind of shared collective responsibility around it all?
Yeah, I love the way you worded that, just because, like, and this is something I've been thinking about recently too, and trying to like tell myself more often, is even if like there are, you know, 10,000 that are identical, or even like 7,000 that are identical, there's only 7,000 people that can ever own that, which is still crazy. Like, I don't think it needs to be one of one, especially when the product is at the level of quality that a lot of the Veve products are. And so I don't know, that's something I've really been trying to like nail home in my head lately, and try to like just keep thinking about that. And I also go ahead.
I was going to say, it's also, for me, it's the set. So even if a common is 10,000, if the secret rare, ultra rare of that set is only like 500, then 500 is the cap. It's only 500 sets ever possible to have.
Yeah,
doesn't matter if there's 10,000 commons. So I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, that's I mean, I think Randy Chavez was talking about this, but the Eddie Riso or whatever Batman, I mean, there's only like 1,700 of those, which means that only 1,700 people can ever own that first set. That's or an Eddie Riso. Yeah, which is insane to me. So I really don't think that the mint number like matters at that point, because just owning the collectible itself is hard enough. So I did want to ask though, Carter, if you want to do your other question first, but I wanted to ask about your like investments. If you were big into investing prior to Veve at all, like if you were into cryptocurrency or anything like that, or pretty much just
no, Veve was my first time ever investing in it. And again, I think it's because if I did something on like OpenSea, it'd be such a huge risk, and I wouldn't know what I was really doing in terms of doing all the research. Whereas with Veve, I kind of felt much more safe and put my money into that than something else.
Yeah, because you're like investing in stuff, you like know what they are, and so
you have like the background knowledge for all of the big Marvel stuff.
That's why I was wondering, like anything like on OpenSea, like the Bored Apes, anything like that. And if they're all unique, how do you determine value? You know, if I've got one certain ape and you've got a different certain ape, Dad does say, well, my ape's got a cigar in its mouth, whereas yours got a monocle, so the cigar's worth more than the monocle. I don't understand. This is my ignorance of the market, but I don't understand how they determine value if it's all unique. Whereas if there's like 10 of the cigars and 100 of the monocle, at least I can say, well, 10's less than 100, so that's probably going to be worth more.
Yeah, that is. Sorry, go ahead, Carter.
So when you're like looking in the marketplace to buy a collectible and stuff, are you looking to just scoop up the floor price, or do you like look at mints? Like, do you try to get a better mint or lower mint or anything?
Personally, I've been going for just the floor, because I've been kind of targeting first appearance, season 1 stuff. If it's not a drop, if it's just on the market to kind of hold my gems in for a while, that's definitely what I'm going for. I think mint numbers will be more popular in terms of value. But going back to my point, because you can't really display the fact what your mint number is in your vault, then it's only really you and whoever you kind of tell who knows it. Whereas as soon as you can kind of flex your mint number in a visual appealing way, then that'll become more valuable to have that. I was also thinking it's not just about like the lowest mint numbers or, you know, sequential or year numbers, but also even having like the last mint in a edition. You know, say there's 10,000, you get 10,001, that's going to be, I think, worth slightly more than getting like the second last one, the third last one. So I think there's value within that as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I remember I had Superman, the second to last minted Superman, and looking back, I was like, man, I undersold that for sure.
I don't know, because at the time you got like 5 times the floor price.
Yeah, it was a crazy flip, and I was surprised that somebody bought it, and I'd really be interested to go back and see who bought it and see if it's like a whale that we know within the community nowadays or something, because I definitely think they were on to that kind of mint information before us, and I was just kind of like, oh, it's a repeat. That number looks cool, like I'll buy that, but I never really considered like buying the very last mint or the very first one. But every time mint number is mentioned, and especially like the final mint, I always think about that Superman, and I'm just like, dang, I wonder what that's worth now or what it's going for now.
I wonder once things are fully over to the blockchain if we can, check
Yeah.
things out and investigate
The
things like that
history.
and see actually the history of
Yeah.
all these different collectibles and actually see for ourselves.
Carter and I are really interested to see when that's released, so we can just kind of track a bunch of different collectibles and see if there's anything fishy going on too with some things. But
yeah, I feel like there's got to be some fishy stuff going on that we'll be able to eventually see. I want to know wait, is his name Ray Fixie or something?
oh yeah.
I want to know what he owns, because he was talking about buying the whole, like, half of the Pride, Da Vinci Pride. He was like talking about buying the whole, like, half of the supply of all of it, and
Yeah.
then he's like, yeah, then I can control the price. I was like, oh my god. So I bet he's got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I that's an interesting one to me, because when I was going through his tweets, it seemed like he was trying to like comfort himself after the floor dropped and he bought at like double the new floor. And so I don't know. He could be looking to do that, but I mean, that like, is that necessary for him? I don't know. That's
Yeah,
something that's his
I
own
just don't.
personal pursuit, but I'd
Yeah, I don't
really
know how many people are going to be convinced to buy it, especially knowing somebody has half the supply. I feel like that makes you just more turned off to buy the
yeah.
collectible. We don't know when the MCP is coming out, but we hope it's soon. You can't super chat
Yo.
yet because we're not monetized, sadly.
Yeah, for real.
I think we'll get monetized within the next couple weeks, hopefully.
We'll see. I sent a feedback thing to YouTube, but who knows if anybody's going to read that. And if anybody responds, it'll probably be a robot. So we'll see. Hopefully soon. But yeah. Because you're Beyond the Fan, you're like a little less than halfway to the subscriber milestone, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. How are your view hours or whatever?
I think last time I checked it was at 1.5.
Okay. Yeah, that's solid. I feel like
Yeah.
you're definitely on track for sure. It's just some more time, but I hope you have better luck with that aspect
Well,
than
I was
we
going to
did.
say, hopefully you get monetized before me.
Honestly, I don't know, man. We'll see,
Yeah.
because
Hopefully, like 2023 will be monetized.
yeah, for real. It's been a journey, that's for sure. I'd rather 10K Batmans than 100. Yeah. I'm so with you, Kobe Collects. And I don't know, the way that Beyond the Fan put it is like perfect. I mean, super concise, but to the point, because definitely points out a lot of the issues, I think, with those products or those like projects, I guess.
Yeah. Just officially collected every single common comic on Veve. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's what Randy was talking about in his live stream today. He was talking about how that's like one of his personal goals, is collecting all the common comics.
Yeah.
It's gonna get pretty hard here soon
That's
with the comics. Like if there's more comics like the one on Thursday, because I think there's only gonna be 1,000 editions. Should we
That
look
would
at
be
those?
an achievement as well. If you in terms of badges and stuff, if you own
yeah.
one comic of every drop sort of thing.
That's what I'm wondering. And I've been
Yeah.
thinking about this recently, related to kind of like, 7,000 mints, only 7,000 people can own that. I'm wondering how many people are going to come into the app and want to collect every single thing in the app. Because I feel like, I mean, the lowest number of people we could have do that is what, 7, I guess, right now. They kind of ruined that achievement with
Yeah,
the
it used to be
James Bond.
150 with Donnie,
Yeah,
and now it's
that's
7 with
true. Dang.
double 7 tickets. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
I bet there's a lot of whales that come in and buy anything. under, like,
Everything.
yeah. Probably honestly everything.
Because if you came in, like, if you're, I don't know, a millionaire or something, I mean, you could pick up almost everything for like under 100K probably.
And you'd
I
be
mean, I
like
know
one of
that's
the
a
top
lot.
master collectors there are. And
Yeah.
then you would get like the rewards for that. And if you can buy land early access, if you're like a
Yeah.
master collector or something. Whew. I don't know. I'm wondering how the land thing is gonna work, like how to buy land like in the VBverse and stuff, because that's gonna be crazy when that happens. I don't know if you're gonna have to be a master collector, if you're gonna have to like own a certain amount of sets, or what it's gonna be, but
I
that's
feel
definitely
like
gonna be crazy.
because I think the people who have had access to the MTL early, I think they'll have the first access to land, because I'm pretty sure it's like individuals in the community that are kind of known by the company to be early adopters of like Veve or early supporters of Veve or Ecomi, and so I feel like they'll keep it that way because those people also have like, I think, I'd like to hope they have better intentions and aren't just looking to like exploit the people or like make money off from selling all that land. I feel like they have like better intentions in mind. So I think
Yeah.
that's how it'll work, but I am really interested to see how that like land auction goes and how much the land goes for, especially if it's like an auction, like one auction for all the land in Omi. That's going to be a wild little ride because
Yeah.
I'm hoping when it comes to doing the land, they parcel it up into different sizes and different areas, and then different auctions or different pools based on that. So there's like an option for getting like a square foot. Like over here we have people that can buy award titles if they own like a square foot of land, so you get a certificate and stuff. So I wonder if it'll be like that in the Veveverse, where you can get just 1 square foot of land just to say you own land. In the Veve, you can maybe put 1 collectible there, and that's it. It's like you can walk down this row of collectibles. It's 1 collectible from each person, sort of thing.
That would be cool, because then like you could have, I don't know, then you could start with like 1 square foot and then maybe like start adding more, or like have like 1 square foot here and like 1 square foot over there. And then I think that'd be sweet if you could like pay some gems or something to like build a house or like build a mansion or build different kinds of houses or put a pool in there and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think that would all be super sweet.
I hope we can get our hands on some land, even if like a bunch of influencers have to go in together and we get like a chunk of land. We need to do that at some point, because we got to have a Veve Vision house. Yeah, we need the house parties.
So this person,
I love this.
This person said Veve is trash. They mess up the girl from X-Men and they mess up Deadpool. So I was thinking the same thing. What do you guys think on them purposely maybe making the first appearances not as cool as they used to be? So then everybody buys the first appearance and then they buy the second appearance and then they buy the third appearance. Because like if they make the first appearances the best every single time, like the Joker, Batman, Harley Quinn, like those are all like some main ones that like obviously look good. And then what if they start doing more things like the Christmas Deadpool, which is first appearance, and then they'll come out with regular Deadpool, because then there'll be an even balance between people wanting both.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Beyond the Fan, on how they did that with like Groot, Deadpool, and the Storm or whatever, just with like the mohawk and everything? But
yeah, so I think that's probably a strategy. I know, for example, this is before my time, but with Captain America, they had first appearance being the Marvel Mighty's Captain America, and then you had an actual Captain America, and there was some debate going back and forth about first appearance, first edition, and we changed it based on what people were saying. So I suspect, just what you're saying there, if the best version of that character was also the first version of that character, then that's like a double done in terms of desirability. People want that. Whereas if you've then got like the 50th version of Batman or 50th version of Deadpool, which unique special about that compared to the first one everyone wants? So I think you need to find a balance. I mean, because it was a set, it was interesting to see you did it 3 times with Deadpool, because I think did it basically for the set of Deadpool and the set for Groot as well. I mean, they could have had like the Ultra Rare or Secret Rare being a version of those characters without the Christmas stuff, or have it optional for those Ultra Rare, Secret Rares where you can put it on and off, but the other ones were just on. So I think it's just, we're just learning, and they probably will change things in the future and mix things up, because we can see I can see them doing like different versions of characters and making them like first edition rather than first appearance. So we could do another version of Storm and make her first edition because she's Storm from the 90s sort of thing, or she's Storm from the 80s, or she's Storm from a new movie coming out sort of thing.
Yeah. I was also thinking, what do you guys think about how for like the Spider-Man they have 5 editions, for the Storm they have 5 editions, for the Groot they have 3 editions, Deadpool 5 editions of the same exact character? Do you guys think like they'll continue doing that? Because in reality, I don't want 5 Deadpools. Like I want the set, but I don't want 5 of them. Like I'd rather have Deadpool and then another character in the set or something. Like I wonder if they'll keep doing that or if they'll change that eventually.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Because do you, like, if you have a collectible you want, do you pick up the set, or do you just pick up the one you want? And
I'm not a set. I don't go for the set. I just go for the one I think I like the most, basically. The only set I went for, like I said, was Voltron, because I liked all the poses and I liked Voltron, so that's more like a personal choice rather than an investment kind of choice.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what we do. I wonder how much this is driven by the licensees. And so if Disney said we want 5 for our characters, or we want 5 for these characters, and you can do what you want for our characters, or if it's Veve themselves to sign it. Because it's interesting that Groot had only 3, whereas Deadpool had 5. Because I'd have thought it'd be a way about, because Guardians of the Galaxy are doing a Christmas special next year. So I'm assuming Groot will feature in that as part of that Christmas special.
Yeah,
It's targeted.
Isn't Groot is gonna have his own series coming out, right? Like I Am Groot or something?
I'm not too sure, because so if you've watched the movies, there's Groot in the movies. At the end of the movies, he sort of dies and gets reborn as Baby Groot, and then the second one, Baby Groot goes up to be a teenager, and then in Avengers he gets snapped away and snapped back. So I don't know, come Guardians 3, if Groot will be back to being an adult Groot or teenager or what, or somewhere in between. Yeah. So they could do anything. I think what we were talking about doing was doing one between Groot and Rocket Raccoon, which is kind of his teammate buddy for the films, and do something like that. But I think at the moment we're kind of floating a lot of different ideas for characters to then see what gets traction in pop culture, and from that work something up. Because we've got so many shows coming out on Marvel plus Star Wars that we're going to run out of space just to put everything in a year on top of the movies as well. So we're going to have to kind of decide what's going to be the most popular ones to go forward with.
Yeah, I definitely agree when you said like testing the waters, kind of, because it feels like they are still in beta stage, kind of. I know they mentioned like the official launch will be next year, but it does feel like some of these drops that people might be getting like upset over, or kind of like that have a lot of criticism, like some of these like Storm and Groot and Deadpool are kind of like test dummies almost, to see like how people respond to that type of product, so they can know in the future like, oh, should we do this again or not? Like, did the people like it or not? How much money did they make off that, or did they not make much? So it is really interesting, and I don't know, I can't wait to see where things go in the future. It's going to be very interesting.
This is going to be crazy once Veve gets this. It says NFT art has make an offer function for NFTs not in the market. Wait until Veve has that. So like, if I could offer somebody for like the last 420 mint Throg or something that like isn't on the market, I think that would be crazy.
I definitely think that would be a game changer.
Yeah, because people are going to be at that point, and you're going to be able to sell complete sets like on the market, like all together. So when people are selling like a completely like 5 collectible set of all 900 mints or something, that would be so sweet. Those are going to go for a lot of money.
Yeah, I think also once there's so much more we can do to feed in the marketplace to make it more user friendly. So as soon as you start implementing that kind of stuff, I think they'll probably just wait until we've got kind of behind the scenes stuff done, the back end stuff, and then kind of work more on the front end stuff. So hopefully that's something to do, next year after translation and MCP, etc.
I feel like they'd fix the app before they do like their official launch, just because I think a lot of new users are like deterred from the app when they come in and like it crashes, or they have issues like loading the floor price for a collectible or something like that, because I feel like those are issues that the like weathered users, I guess you would call us, or something like that, are used to, and it doesn't really phase us. But when I look at their reviews, I definitely see like on the App Store they have a bunch of like 3-star, 1-star reviews of people who are super pissed about that type of stuff that it's just like normal every day on Veve for us. So I'm hoping that's fixed before the official launch, because I think they'll get some flack for that if it's not. But if not, I mean the products are still super high quality in my opinion, and I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, but it would be nice.
Yeah, I can't wait till you can like search for people and the collectibles too, because that's going to be a big thing.
That'll be good,
especially with so many collectibles coming.
Someone said it's butt Thompson.
I wonder if they're serious.
No, I don't think so. This is Beyond the Fan for anybody who doesn't know. Another content creator. Check his channel out if you're interested.
Yeah, link in the description. Let's go. Yo, $10,000 super chat. Let's go. Yeah, so everybody's still asking about the comics. But yeah, so it seems like, oh wait, what? Oh, I thought this was comics, not commons. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I think there's wait, so where did we see that it was 1,000 copies?
So like Reverend Alex, or one of the team members, I believe it was Alex, was in the Twitter spaces and mentioned this Thursday's comic is going to be like extremely limited edition. I think he mentioned like 1,000 or maybe like 1,400 or something like that, but I think it was 1,000. And
it's going to be super limited. It's definitely going to be the most limited one we've seen.
we can go
So
over
under
that right
10K
now.
for sure.
So for everybody who's here for the comics, we'll go over it right now. Got the Twitter pulled up. But yeah, the debut of Spider-Man's black costume, the alien suit that would one day become Venom. This is an extreme limited edition release. Amazing Spider-Man 252 featuring Veve exclusive rare and ultra rare covers by Philip Tad and Federico Blee. Dropping Thursday, 8 a.m., same time as usual for the comics. But here are the covers we've got. And yeah, they didn't like clarify. They didn't clarify the mints, but I think the mint number mentioned in the Twitter Spaces by Reverend Alex was 1,000, and that would I think the secret rare was either 140 or 100 or 40 or something like that.
People were talking about 40 in something that I was
Yeah,
like,
that is gonna be
It would
insane
be-
if that happens.
yeah, that's like throwing Donnie out of the window. I mean, no,
Yeah.
it's not, because like Donnie's still season 1 and it's a collectible, but still, like
Yeah.
these
This is
things are going to
gonna-
be so high in price.
Yeah. I think it'll be a game changer just based on that rarity. But then at the same time, I'm really interested to see how the Fantastic Four #1, the Marvel comic #1, all of the other like grails stand against this in terms of value. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if this will pump their value too. Because if this is super, super valuable and it's not a super valuable comic in real life, it's just valuable on here due to the limited edition mint, I feel like we'll see an increase in price in the grails, but I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder how many people are actually going to be going for this and like spending a ton of money, because like I don't think it's a super big, like I mean it's a decent comic, but I guess like it's not like crazy, like nothing to compare to like Fantastic Four #1, nothing to compare to like obviously the three main grails, like Marvel Comics #1 and then the Amazing Spider-Man #1. So we have to see who's paying for it if there's only 1,000 editions.
I'm really interested to see what happens with this, but yeah, in general, I don't know. Go for this. Hope you get it. If you get it, you're gonna be sitting in some nice profit, because this is definitely gonna be worth a pretty penny on the marketplace, I think. But
Yeah.
once we get details, we'll go over some price predictions and stuff like that. But beyond the fan, what are your general thoughts? We kind of talked about this before we got on, but what are you thinking about this?
Yeah. See, whenever they come up with the numbers, I always wonder if that's a decision by Veve themselves to make. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming Disney would say make it 100,000 because they want as many sold as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Veve are the ones that say, no, we need to keep this kind of low mint numbers.
Yeah.
So I wonder what their thinking is around that. You know, how do we just decide like this is going to be like 1,000 or 2,000 compared to another comic? Like so, 4 I think was 10,000. So I'm just wondering, are they just kind of testing the waters, come up with numbers, or have they got some sort of algorithm behind it? Or we think actually, given what this comic's worth in the real world, we think X number of editions makes sense for us.
Yeah.
But I'm hyped for it. I mean, I like Spider-Man. Definitely going for it on the drop. But again, I don't just any comic. I don't think I'll be picking up or trying to pick up in the secondary market unless you know it's ultra going for like 1 gem or something like that. I'm not going to be paying to kind of pick it up because it's just not where my passion lies. So I'd rather keep those gems for collectibles, even though you might pick some up at 20 gems, but in a year's time it'd be worth 200 gems. It's just I'd rather put those 20 gems in a collectible and you know, get whatever I get in a year's time, because I'm not planning on selling my collection off as soon as it's valuable. I'm still going to keep a hold of it. It's nice to see it go up in value and maybe sell 1 or 2 pieces to kind of fund going after more stuff in the future. I really like all the covers here, and like I was saying, the kind of pose he's got there is the pose from the original. Spider-Man. It's interesting. Do we know if the other covers are Veve exclusives?
Yeah, the rare and ultra rare they mentioned are Veve exclusive. They say
that ultra rare looks so good.
Yeah.
I love the ultra rare.
They are really nice covers. This reminds me of I can't remember the specific number, but there was another Amazing Spider-Man with like Venom. I think it was the first appearance of Venom, and those covers. This definitely reminds me of that. And I think, I don't know, I really like this cover artwork, and I love what Beyond the Fan said in terms of like, I'm really curious to know how they did determine like this is worthy of being like the most rare comic out so far, because it does kind of feel like they're testing the waters, because that's how the first appearance Green Goblin felt for me with the 70,000 mints. Is like, okay, is it time to do to up the regular comic drop to 70,000 or no. And I wonder how they did determine that, because like you said, I definitely think Disney or Marvel was like pushing for like, yeah, let's do 30,000 instead of 1,000. We can make 30x compared to that. But
yeah, but they're still making a lot of money in the secondary market. They honestly
Yeah.
might make the same amount as a 30,000
That's-
edition drop.
I wonder if that's what they're testing out, to see if they can make more money long term by having a low mint in the secondary market floating around and being bought and resold and stuff with that 8.5% tax or whatever, compared to 30,000 mints, cheaper price up front or whatever, but
I think
cheaper secondary market price.
I think these lower mint drops will be a lot better, especially once you can like flex the comics on your profile and stuff, because
Yeah.
people are going to want this just because it's a low mint over some of the other ones, except for the secret rares. Obviously, the secret rare like grails are going to take it no matter what. But I mean, even the common, if this is only 1,000 editions, the common's still going to be cool to flex on your like profile, because I mean, it looks good to begin with, and then it's so low mint.
I think this can also be how Veve puts their own spin on like the history of comics, because they can, like, in the real world, there's the comics that have already been established as super valuable, but Veve's kind of like putting their spin on which ones will be grails within the Veve comic community. I think that's really cool, because this is going to be the grail besides the 3, I think, just based on that mint number. But I'd be interested. We have to see the comments, see what everybody else is saying about this, because
I also think most people in the real world don't collect comics. So it's interesting to see actually, once we get more people in the app next year, will that affect the price of things? So if you get like 1 million more people who don't really care about mint numbers or comics, are just going after things that they like that are popular, what have an impact? So I wonder, there's two routes that Veve could go. I suppose it's going after the kind of NFT investment crowd and going after people, spending big money, getting into the app, etc. Or they could also go after just general audiences going after things. Like, say the parent getting the kids a comic book, they'll just get my NFT Veve comic or collectible in the future. It'd be interesting to see if we go for both or go for one, and what impacts it will have on things in the marketplace.
Yeah,
I don't see like a new person coming in being like, I'm going to go for this because there's only 1,000 mints. I think a new person will go, this looks shiny. I'm going to go for a shiny thing because people talk about it and I like it, so I'm just going to go for it and spend the money on it.
That's so true. Oh man, what are your thoughts on like the golden stuff? We've mentioned it before. I'm sure you've heard us say, at least me say, that like it feels oversaturated with how much gold stuff we have on the app right now. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wonder if we're going back, we'll say this was a phase, like this was a golden phase, and then it'll be like a silver phase, and then it'll be like a platinum phase and stuff like that. So in the comic books, that's how they define ages. It's like the bronze, silver, golden age of comics, etc. So I wonder if Veve are saying, well, the gold stuff will only be available for a certain point of time, and we'll stop and move to like silver, and that'll be for a certain point of time. So like 5-10 years from now, we go, oh, if you got a golden collectible, it's because you bought it in the early days from like season 1, 2, and 3. So who knows? It could just be someone in the company likes gold and they've just went gold for everything.
That's so interesting. That's the first time I've heard anyone mention something like that, and that is something I could see justifying the gold. Like if they end up doing that, I think that would be a cool twist to have on it. But right now it feels like they're just like pumping out gold because like, oh, people, like you said, like shiny object stuff, just like, oh, it's cool, like it's shiny, that means it's worth more and stuff. But if they do that, I'm kind of all for that, with like how they determine like the Silver Age comics or whatever, Bronze Age comics or whatever. So
that would be cool for a second Golden Moments drop, and instead of the gold, it would be sweet if they did silver. Like I was thinking, that would make me so much happier than if they did another gold set.
The serial killer airdrop, if they do the Yucky Charmer silver, then I think that would definitely like give us a heads up, like, okay, maybe they're on that trend. But at the same time, I feel like it's so fitting for Yucky Charmer to be gold.
Yeah,
but
I feel like they'd keep them all gold, just because then it would fit with the set too.
Yeah, that's true. We did have a Evening Boys. How you doing? How Groot Common got so low, I don't know, but I just picked up 10 of them. Under $30 is legit steal.
Let's go.
I definitely, if you're interested in Groot long term, I definitely think now's the time to pick up. But there's so much other stuff on the app, I think, that has more hype than that. And yeah, I mean, Groot has just been slept on since drop. It was something people were looking to flip, basically. And I don't think
it's animated well. I think Two
Yeah.
animated as well, so that's incredible, I think.
I definitely, the animation is one of the better ones in my opinion, just because I don't know, when they tried to take Deadpool and make him dance like that, it didn't feel as real as the Groot, since Groot's already like animated to begin with and not supposed to be as realistic. And so yeah, I definitely think that animation, like if you can pick up the rare for a low price, I definitely think that's the one to go for. But I mean, long term, as we get more people in the app, I could definitely see Groot growing. I just think that's a really long term investment. It's like planting a seed, basically. It's like planting a Groot and just like helping him grow up, because it's going to be a while until those fetch like really good prices, I think. But it's definitely possible.
I think, again, more people in the app near Christmas,
Yeah.
kids, young adults, everybody will be going for it at that point, and people will be kind of pumping the event. It's just a case of holding on until that point and waiting.
Yeah, next Christmas they're gonna go crazy.
That's true.
Zachary Roy just picked up a 1/6 DeLorean 2626 mint. Let's go.
Crispy. I need to get one of those too. Ooh.
Jaco FOMO'd into the comic today. I
I'll
wonder,
need
did you buy the secret rare? I think the secret rare actually looks good.
I think it's pretty cool, but no way I'm going to that. Shout out. I got a shout out. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's one of those flex items, but it's like the least cool item in the app or whatever, and like realistically. So sorry, go ahead.
I wonder if somebody actually I wonder if the 7 people to get those tickets actually all went to the movie when they got it.
For real. I want to shout out Mauricio Arellano for the donation. I think donated to like a comic, I think a Future Imperfect and a thing to me. So I still want to thank you for that. And OG Devil Bunny to the moon, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Lower mint comics will be graded higher.
Okay, this is I haven't really ever talked about this. What are you guys' opinions on this though? Because there's a lot of people, well, mostly it's just the comics and crypto and sleeping comics, which are the main comic people on the covering the app. So I do think it's going to be a thing just because of that part. But I don't know. Do you guys agree with the 2% mint comic will be graded as a 9.8? Because once Veve's this is the only thing that determines it, is because if Veve ends up unlocking all those collectibles and comics that are all low mint, what really happens to the low mints? Because they're gonna lose some value if all those for the collectibles, if the mint 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 up to 40 all get unlocked, then I think there's going to be a lot of competition for the very lowest, and people are always going to care, but I wonder when they're going to unlock those, because they have to be unlocked at some point.
So I thought those ones were given out to people or kept. So they're given out to licensees and kept in Veve itself. So I thought people still had them more, or is it?
Yeah,
still sitting on a generic account?
I think I don't know if they're allowed to use them right now. They might be able to, but we haven't seen any sales yet, at least except for the first season. Because the first season they had those super low mints, but since then I don't think we've seen any.
I don't think they'd unlock them, in my opinion, just because I don't know. It, like you said, that would really throw a wrench in the market or the economy or whatever on Veve. And it also, I feel like that's just something that the owners would put, or the founders or whatever would put in a case and just let sit there and never really put it in the market. And I think it would be violating some terms they might be on if they did that.
Eventually I think they have to come out. It's not like they're never going to drop them, because at that point it's why would they even make it a thing if they're never going to drop them at some point? There'd be no point of even doing it.
I don't know. I could see them maybe auctioning it off for charity or something. That would be a really cool thing to see, because I don't know, then it wouldn't just get eaten up by a whale or something who's just about to I don't know, pay a high price and hodl it. But
yeah,
go ahead.
I wonder if they give the actual first 40 mints to the licensors and stuff, because I feel at that point they just give the 50 ones they keep out. I don't know, because maybe they'll do giveaways in the future and auction off those, or send out those low mints, because that would be super cool too. I just hope I hope they don't get hodled and then all released at the same time, because that would crush the low mint market.
I think, like you said, they'd probably do something like they did with Edo, where they do like a giveaway of maybe 10 or 20 of them, and then like over time, because as we grow, like say a year from now, they decide to unlock like the Fantastic Four #1, like 10 or 20 of those. That's going to be a huge catalyst that they could possibly gain more Twitter followers and all of that, and just kind of like pump the company. So I feel like they can kind of sit on those as like catalysts for growth if they're really struggling at any point, or possibly use it for like, you know, that auction thing like we were saying. But it will be I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see where that goes. But
I also think, you know, the 9.8 thing, I don't know if that will translate across just solely based on mint numbers. So the grade comes in the physical world based on the condition of the comic.
yeah,
So I think if Veve ever actually introduced the degrade in the comics at a future point, then that's where the grading will come in. I think just now it's just market forces will influence the kind of increase for mint numbers. So, I mean, whatever you list something for, like always, when people list something for sale, that's how much it's worth. Yeah, it's only worth it if someone buys it. So if you've got a low mint comic and you list it for a common, say for 1,000 gems, doesn't matter if you list it for 1,000 gems, but it's only worth 1,000 gems if someone actually is willing to pay 1,000 gems for it. So I think it'll be interesting to see what actually gets sold. So I've seen a lot of movement stuff going for thousands of gems, but I'm like, people are actually paying this? Because like next to there's one a couple hundred gems, it's just a few editions higher.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what people are actually paying for the low mint numbers. So I think there's key low mint numbers that will be worth a lot of money, but other low mint numbers are just cool, but have a rest of a premium attached to it, I think.
Yeah. For the comics, like, what would you guys rather have? Would you guys have? Wait, is the lowest one you can get like a 200 or 195?
It's a 41, I think.
For the comics, sorry, I meant comics.
Oh,
I'm not too sure. I think it's
I don't know.
Let's say it's 200, the lowest you can, or no, let's say the lowest you can get is 201. Would you rather have like a 202 or 203, 204, or would you rather have like mint 300 or mint 400 or mint 500, like perfect numbers?
That's where I see the flaw in this grading system, is it's trying to give some order to all of this, but in reality, it's not accounting for the very last mint. And
it's all the perfect numbers,
and like
numbers,
and 11111.
I'd rather have the year the comic first came out, like 1964 compared to 400.
And so I feel like those are exceptions, and those would be like maybe 9.8s too. But personally, as of right now, I'd take the lower mint just because I know that's what the community hypes up. But I'm definitely,
I think in the future,
though,
once everything's high in price, people are going to be more picking out like, okay, if I'm going to spend 10 grand on this low mint, am I going to get the 203 or am I going to get the 300?
Yeah,
like, because I think a lot more people are going to like the clean numbers over the like a
204. This is the fourth minted comic or whatever. Yeah, it's like okay, I feel like, as cool as that is, I think it's just that community hype right now, and so everybody's flocking to those really low mints. But I think in the future we'll definitely see, like I think it was Mr. Pags or whatever, like kind of pushing that like the last mint movement.
Yeah.
And then like Beyond the Fan was saying, the year or significant years in general, or those repeats or palindromes and all sorts of stuff. Like I was looking at picking up like the 00 like 3300 mints or something like that, where it's like 2 zeros on each side and then a repeat in the middle. Like there's all sorts of crazy mint numbers that aren't super low that I think, you know, could compete with considerably low mint numbers, just because they're unique numbers in themselves, not because they're chronologically like first or last. I think that's really like simplifying it. And is like the first mint actually minted first, because everything's minted randomly or delivered randomly.
Yeah, so that's like, what confuses me too. I don't understand that.
Do you know any details about that, Beyond the Fan?
I don't know any details, unfortunately. I think that's probably one of those things Veve probably wouldn't comment on just now.
Yeah,
probably wouldn't want that out just now. They'd want to kind of keep that hush hush and let people just kind of speculate and influence the market that way. But it's interesting. I think again it goes back to what the actual comic is, because you have a 9.8 comic in the physical world, another 9.8 comic in the physical world, but depending on what those comics actually are, they're going to be worth so much difference from each other. So 9.8 isn't comparable across different comics. It's only comparable within that particular issue. So 9.8 of all, say issue 90 of Spider-Man, that's comparison there. We can't compare issue 90 of one comic with issue 2 on a different comic.
Yeah.
Just because they're both 9.8. So I think there's more to it than that. 9.8 is just a condition. The better condition, the more you're willing to pay for it. But you can get 9.8 from a couple $100 to tens of thousands of dollars. It depends on the comic.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a nice way of trying to bring some order to understanding the value of the mints and stuff, but I definitely think that's too simple. And at least, I mean, it's all subjective opinion, but I don't think that the only valuable mints should be low, because like complete repeats and other things like that, like the year, I definitely think those should be considered as like, have a premium for them just because.
Yeah, I think once we can do like the premium listings and stuff, I think that's when like we'll really start to see the actual like clean looking mint numbers like go up a little bit, because right now it seems like I've got two 4,000 like perfect 4,000 mints, like just the number 4000 at floor price twice now, the same 4000. So like it seems like people just like aren't really catching that, and they only think that low mints matter. But to me, like those perfect mints are what matters to me, at least.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I also think that's where things like people setting up on Discord and stuff and creating that community comes in. Because if you have a community or a Discord set up where you only get in if you have a certain mint number, just like with Bored Apes, you need a certain thing to get in. I think that's where we'll see more utility. So think about in the VV verse where you've got a plot of land and that number is like 404 or whatever. And only people who have a mint number matching that plot of land can get into that clubhouse there. Then that's where the that's where the extra stuff comes from, the extra value comes from, because it's that utility and that kind of flex of saying, well, I'm in this because I've got that mint number.
Yeah, I could definitely see there being like a 41 club or whatever, or like a 17 club or whatever for like the early collectibles. Or I think, right? Because they took 16, or did they take 18?
I think Todd, I think they took 12 or something.
Holy.
I know. I think there's like a 13 running around out there. That's
just
whoever owns that has got some money.
Imagine, because did Lewis Morgan buy that one because it was the lowest available, or is it one of the lowest available?
No, it's one of the lowest available.
Okay.
There's under that.
I was gonna say, because I imagine like buying the lowest, and then like a week later they like give away 10 that are lower than that, and you're like, well, just wasted that. But
I honestly don't think they'll unlock the mints for at least a couple of years, though. Like I think there's still a while to go. Should we send our Omi to the VV wallet? If you send it to the VV wallet, you'll be like ready to swap it and stuff, but I don't think you can take out your Omi after you do it. So if you're just like looking to hold it and stuff, then yeah, you can send it over. But if you have any thought of maybe selling in the future, don't put it on yet.
Yeah, you guys want the naked Deadpool.
Yeah. I hope they take that sweater off though. Like if they can like customize collectibles and stuff, I think that's like one of the no-brainers that they do.
Yeah, I think though, like you and Beyond the Fan said too, like it could just be a part of the strategy. And then when they drop the next Deadpool, there might be more hype for that one if it's like it doesn't have the Christmas stuff. But I could definitely see them making it like the accessory. But any influence stopping the bot? Sorry, did you have something to say?
Just something that came to mind. Maybe we'll say something in the future where if you own another version of Deadpool, that gives you the option to take off the accessories in the first Deadpool or something like that.
Yeah,
because I can see them doing like a combination thing where if you own two things, it unlocks stuff in one of the collectibles that wasn't available before.
That would be very nice to see. I'd definitely like for Labbits, for any series like Batman too. That would be really cool. But any info on stopping the bots, or do we need to join them? Don't join the bots.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to benefit you in terms of stopping the bots. I used to kind of get caught up in it, but it's literally always going to be a cat and mouse game from what I understand. I don't know much about it, but they are actively trying to stop the bots. I think people were saying that, like David, you mentioned that they stop like 1 million bots a drop or something like that, or at least during those big drop weeks. I definitely think they're stopping them. It's just we see a picture get leaked every once in a while, and then everybody freaks out again that, oh my gosh, this is happening. It's always happening. They're always trying to work against it, but it's literally always going to be like Tom and Jerry, just back and forth, co-evolving. So that's my take.
I was going
Predictions.
to say, in terms of jobs, so we not going to change the job system as well, potentially.
Yeah,
and that'll
yeah.
have an
I think
impact
the
on
queue
bots. So I
system,
think
which
the queue, will have
yeah,
an impact on the bots anyway. So
yeah. Especially if they do know your customer, I think that's where there'll be a major like block for the bots, just because like I don't know, they'd have to make up identities or get their entire extended family to make a Veve account that they can use to get drops and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, but I am interested to see how the KYC will influence like bot levels or activity. Predictions for next collectible Saturday Boba Fett.
I think it could be
I feel
because
like wouldn't they release it before though?
I don't
Or
think
no?
so. So I was looking into this. So obviously, the first episode, Pickable Effects, tomorrow on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But all the footage apparently is just from like the first 5-10 minutes of the show, because there's a lot of speculation. There'll be lots of things like spoilers happening in the rest of that first episode. So maybe we don't want anything going out because we don't want any potential spoilers going out for that show, and that's why they're not even sending it to Veve yet. They'll wait until the show's out and potentially send it. I don't know if it'll be this Saturday, but I do think they will do one soon, just to get kind of maybe more in line with like the finale of Pickable
Yeah.
Effect towards the end of it.
I feel like somebody said like something like, will we see the Boba Fett on the 29th or something? And then they said like there will be no drop on the 29th or something. But like they never said like, I don't know. Whatever it was, it seemed kind of like they were going to release it like soon towards the date, but hopefully we see it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, it was me, by the way, that commented on your video. Is that like that picture looks real, right? With the real Kevin Paffrath?
Yeah.
Because it's Meet Kevin.
Oh.
So funny. I wonder where you saw him at. That's so funny.
I don't think anything's dropping on Friday. I think it's Saturday, right?
It's Friday.
Yo, we got someone in here from Macedonia. Shout out to Macedonia. Let's go.
Best investment for around 400 to 500 gems right now.
It
has to be in between that range.
Beyond the Fan, you want to go?
I'm probably just going to be very boring and say first appearance Joker. It's probably
yeah.
we're all going to say the same here.
We're all thinking
the
same thing.
I don't know if it's still in that range though. Is it?
I think it's like just under 500.
Is it?
I think it's like 490.
I thought I bought it like 550, so maybe it dropped.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but for the curveball, I'd probably go like Silver Dragon Girl.
Yeah, that's the only really other thing that came to mind too.
I'd say Harley Quinn, I think, is under that range.
I think last time I checked, it was like 392.
Ooh,
something like that. So it's going up.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention Doctor Doom first appearance. I picked one of those up yesterday. I wanted to like update the stream. I'll probably update people in a video, but I was thinking about it, and it is really expensive for that Doctor Doom Marvel Mighty, but I don't know. I think that's a good first appearance. I think the artwork is good, whereas some of the other Marvel Mighties, they look a little bit goofy. Some of them have some goofy like character or like attributes or whatever, like the Invisible Woman's eyes or whatever. Look like, yeah, Beyond the Fan.
I was thinking.
But yeah, so I think Doctor Doom is like one of the best looking Marvel Mighties. It's got the glowing eyes and everything. I think Doctor Doom in like pop culture, I guess you can consider it, is like a pretty relevant, popular character, especially with MF Doom. I feel like that's a character that a lot of people will notice, and I feel like it'll be popular in the future. And it kind of made me pull the trigger to think like only 5,000 people, well, I mean less than 5,000, but only 5,000 people can ever own that, and that's if people aren't holding duplicates. And I think I don't know, that's what sold it for me. So I think first appearance Doctor Doom is also a possibility, because I think it's like 475 or something.
This is a great collab. Let's go. Thanks for this.
We finally made it happen. Let's go.
We got to check this out
with the audio recording.
I don't want to play something.
Yeah, like I don't know what that is. I might check it out, but
yeah.
Honestly, the entire Voltron set is under 500. That is crazy. I think that has potential, because I think that what's it called? The ultra rare, I think, is like what, 240 or less.
I think last time I seen it was like 230.
Yeah, so I mean, that is wild. I mean, some of those had a little higher mints, but still. And the first appearance of the DreamWorks license, I feel like, is pretty
I think it's been swept on. In fact, it's the first appearance
Yeah.
of that license.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like people will care once the second appearance of that license comes out or not. Because when they drop Shrek, what is
The new comics are out. It's 1,000.
Yo,
We
okay.
gotta pull it up.
Let's review it on stream. Let's go.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking
Price
news.
predictions.
Breaker. All right, let's get in here.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
This is gonna be hard to. I don't know for price predictions. This is gonna be weird. We don't have anything like this.
Look at these covers. It's
Let's
a beautiful
go.
secret rare, beautiful ultra rare. Loving the pencils here. I really like this this comic cover. Beyond the Fan, what's your favorite comic cover?
Out of here, definitely secret rare. I just love that pose, and this it looks so clean with the white background.
Yeah. And that like mint blue font color. Whew. Woo.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just realized they're about to. This is gonna be so limited. The secret rare is probably only gonna be like 20 editions out.
I think someone said 40.
Yeah,
the
but
chat.
then. But what about the
my
Veve?
God.
Because Veve takes
Oh,
like
yeah,
90
yeah.
usually, so I wonder how
my
many they'll take.
God.
This is gonna be crazy.
Okay, for price predictions, the common could literally be the price of most secret rares.
Like I've. Oh my god!
Like
this
yeah,
is
over
crazy.
600, I think for sure.
Yeah, definitely could.
I don't know. We could see
wonder-
this tank, but I really don't think it will.
It's not gonna tank because
Yeah.
there's like one, it looks good, and then two, people are they're collecting all the comics in general, so
yeah.
that's gonna make another reason for people to want this.
The only one
throws
I
us-
don't like is the uncommon because it's just black and white. That's probably the
Yeah,
least favorite one out of the 5.
I like
But,
the blue detail. Like I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
cool, but I still just don't like the black and white ones in general because like why would you pay more money for something that's more bland in my opinion. But the pencils I can understand for some of them, but the ones where they just remove all the color, it kind of like why?
let's
but-
wait. Check the mints of all of them again.
So 425, so less than pretty much all the secret rares for the common on this. So in terms of price prediction, I think over 400 to 600 for sure. Like I 100% over that. I'm guessing it'll be over 1K.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I think within the first hour, it'll be 1K for the common easily.
Yeah.
It might drop, but I think there'll be so much FOMO and hype around it.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
whales will be going in, just driving up the price and buying it up.
Definitely agree.
That's
uncommon,
crazy.
uncommon we could see lower than the common. I think maybe. I think people might argue like, oh, the mint, blah, 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 the rarity, but I just don't think it's as appealing as the common. And I think the same could be said for the rare, but the rare only has 175 mints. So, oh, man.
Dang.
I think if you're spending thousands of gems on a comic, I think you'd probably go for like a secret rare and try and get that first.
Yeah.
And then keep your gems and try and snipe it at some point. I think if I'm a whale, I'm not going to be going the middle stuff. I'm either going for starting up the commons or going for
They're-
a secret rare.
I
If-
definitely agree. I think people are about to be going for good mint commons, any secret rare, and maybe any ultra rare.
I'm really curious to see what, because I'm guessing these mints will like be lower mint comics too, but since it's like such a low drop, like I'm guessing they won't take as much. Hopefully, if they took 90,
No, I think it'll be like a percentage I always take.
okay.
Like when it was like 10,000, I think it was still a percentage, and it's like 100,000, it's still a percentage.
They said
Okay.
8.5, if that's what you're talking about.
No, we're talking about how much Veve you'll keep back. the drop.
Oh,
So I think it's always like a percentage of whatever the number is,
Yeah.
like 10% or something like that.
yeah.
This is gonna
Yes.
this is gonna be wild.
This
It's gonna be
is
bonkers.
Thursday is gonna be crazy.
If
Super
you
excited.
guys get this drop, what are you like? Okay, if you get the common, what are you doing? Selling or holding? And if you get the secret rare, what are you doing? Selling and holding?
Oh man.
I'd probably hold both just now because I think it's one of those ones you'll see a lot of fluctuation maybe in like the first week of the price, but longer term it's because it's kind of a classic pose and classic edition and the just the mint numbers in the app. I think it will be worth more in the long term.
Yeah.
I mean, it might change if we could get our gems back out. If on Thursday we could get our gems back out, it might sell it then. But because you can't do it just now, I'd definitely just keep it because it's only going to get up in value, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna be
oh
crazy.
My God, 40 secret rare. For
This is
me?
like This
It'll
is the
probably be
most
35 though, at least.
Yeah.
You know, or
Yeah.
30. You know what I mean? When we take a slice off it, so.
Oh my
so this
gosh.
is besides the 007 ticket, this is going to be the most limited thing there is on the app
Yeah.
for the secret rare.
Man, this is wild. In terms of what I would do, I'm I think I'd hold the common, the ultra rare, the secret rare. If I get one of these, I'd probably look to flip and pick up another one if possible. Probably the common, hoping that it's cheaper. But if the ultra rare is cheaper than the common, then I'd pick up that. And if not, I'd just probably take profit from these just because I don't know though.
Yeah,
Because
this is
it
hard.
still is super rare, but I don't like the black and white covers.
But these, yeah, I don't know because
Oh,
in the real world they're not as good as the 3 girls we have, like the top 3 that we
Yeah.
have, but in Veve they could be just because that low mint. So
yeah, that's what I think. I do think we'll see a lot of resistance on that, though, especially from big people into comics, maybe, or yeah, like, I don't know, just other people who have been anti-low mint and rarity in the past, because there definitely seems to be a crowd that like favors the IP over the rarity and thinks that like rarity and mint number literally doesn't matter at all because nobody, they'll just keep dropping more rare stuff. But I mean, I don't think we're going to see a comic drop this rare for a long time, like a long time, because they didn't even do 10,000 with this. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say there's more whales in the app than there will be this comics, so I think that one itself will just drive out the price because the whales will be fighting amongst themselves when 99% of the other people in Veve be out of discussion because they can't afford to buy in. So
yeah,
whoever gets this on,
this will definitely be like a flex piece, I think, for Veve whales to say I've got one of these or I've got a complete set of 5 comics. Do you know what I mean?
Man,
whoever gets this, it's going to be hitting the jackpot. If you get a secret rare, oh my god.
Oh, imagine whoever gets mint 252 as well.
For real.
Man, this ultra rare, I love the detail on this. This is a beautiful cover.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Honestly.
I really like I like all of them. I like the secret rare, the ultra rare, and the common.
Yeah, these are all really cool. I don't know. I think this one is my ultimate least favorite, but I'd take any of them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna
be crazy. Yeah, Thursday is gonna be bonkers.
$1,000 comics is a theory going around. Commons will reach that price if they limit the mints and mass adoption hits.
Yeah, honestly,
that comic probably will hit.
Yeah, because it's less than the normal secret rares. Like I think it would make sense. We could see like 400 to 600 like some of the others, but I really doubt it just because it's less rare. I feel like we'll see 600 minimum, more like 800 or 1,000 as the low point. But
not a great comic and not. Wait, it was 1,000 copies, right?
Yeah, it is.
Might have put that in before the article dropped.
Oh, poor man printing in here.
Shout out poor man printing. He's one of the OGs. That's so funny. I remember watching you back in the day all the time.
Yeah, for real. When are we going to see? Wait, what was that?
What are you reading?
What did he say?
Oh, yeah. I completely
When are we going to see a Bill Dance Fishing Comics? What it do, baby? I don't know who Bill Dance Fishing Comics is or what that is, but I'd be interested to see anything on the Veve app, honestly.
That's one of the things I'd be interested to see is more, not just Marvel and DC, but more sort of smaller comic book creators and comics come out there. Because at the moment, a lot of things are going to Indiegogo and stuff like that. But things like that, imagine people doing their own JPEG NFT. Why not do your own comic NFT and put it on Veve?
Yeah, I think
see that being a good move.
I want to see. I'll share in a second, but where is it? Comic books. I want to see
the Bill Dance Fishing guy is like. I looked it up and it says America's favorite fisherman.
Like one of the comics I'd be looking out for is Spawn. That's Todd McFarlane's creation. Yeah, or Girl from the.
Yeah, these are comics I want to see. Is Jim Mahfood's like books or these Girl Scout comics? I would love to see some smaller artist comics like this, and the artwork in these is like beautiful. I was considering picking up some of these in real life just because the artwork is so cool.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I hope they drop the Star Wars comics too.
Yeah, I'd love to see everything, honestly. I mean, if I can afford it, I'd like to collect as much as possible, but I just think, oh man, I would love to see some of these. But yeah, this makes me want to spend money on these in real life and pick up the like real life versions. But
It's interesting that VV so far have only just done Marvel comics. I
Yeah.
wonder if there's a deal with Disney where it's can only do Marvel comics or
yeah,
not.
for
I'm just
right
wondering.
now, I think
Yeah.
so. I think Vivi's definitely favoring Disney right now because I mean that is as much as we love DC. I think Disney just owns so much IP or whatever, and so I think that's the way for them to go. And I would not be surprised if Disney said like, "Hey, you want to kind of favor us and drop a lot of our stuff compared to the other people?" But
Yeah.
oh yeah,
This is
oh
who are
yeah.
all the new users. If this
If
is
a
your
new
first
user-
drop too, oh my.
If a new user gets that, oh my, straight gold mine. Just that is insane.
Yeah, the drops on Thursday. Ultra Rare being for right.
8 a.m. Pacific time, I believe, or
Being
PT,
for
whatever.
right. Oh, Ultra Rare was the bottom left.
Yes.
Scott and the
Scott
Vision
and the
Boys. Let's
yes,
go.
sir. We got to get Brennan Z on here again pretty
True.
soon. I think it's
a
at
5.
least.
Oh, these are honestly could be 10K. We've already seen them.
Yeah, turns out it's 1,000.
It's just weird that this random
Oh, sorry.
it's getting this pump. Yeah, it's just because I don't know.
I think
I think
Vivi's
they're
testing
gonna.
the waters.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
they
think-
might start doing that more with the lesser known comics and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that. I think that's the only reason I can think of picking this comic. So why pick this comic? What other comics you could do? Why this one and why this amount? I think it's just testing the waters to see if they can make it pump high because it's relatively not very popular within the comic community.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if all of the additions are over 1,000, that 8.5% fee in the market is going to be crazy. So it will.
And it's 8.5 every time it sells.
Yeah.
So if it's trade in hand, it's 8.5
Yes,
every time.
over and over and over. If
Forever.
people are looking
so
to
like
flip
5
yeah.
years from now, when they sell it for whatever, it's
Yeah.
8.5% of that.
This was the clip that they sent in the Discord. I bet that
Oh,
makes a lot
okay,
more
okay.
sense. I was like, what is he playing in the
No.
Discord? Let's
Let's
go,
go.
Beyond the Fan.
Thank you.
This one and the Hitmonkey are decent, but all the 250s edition secret rares are not like top tier comics. Wonder why. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is 10 times rarer than the whatever Hitmonkey. So I'm curious.
In general, yeah. I think people who know comics are gonna know that this is like artificial hype due to the mint number, and so I don't think they'll get pulled into this. They might buy it for the flex, but overall, I think this is going to be like a flex piece for whales. If your average Joe gets this, they'll get a really nice lucky flip, and it'll probably pass off to a whale or someone with a lot more money who's looking to flex this in the future. But yeah, I definitely agree that like those grails are definitely going to stand against this. They might rise in value if these take off, but yeah, it is. I think they're still just testing waters though to see.
No shot I get one.
Yeah, for
it's gonna
real.
be so hard to get.
I hope. Oh
I'm
man.
going to have to check as well and see, like, of those secret wares, how many's actually been listed in the marketplace? Because I wonder if a lot of
Yeah.
people are just holding them for a flex
Yeah,
piece.
honestly, I mean, there might be 10 people who get lucky and list them or whatever for profit, but I feel like the majority of EV users, I feel like are just going to hodl it because I don't know though, because if it is selling for what people think is overvalued, we could see a little dip. And I don't know how many people will be buying in besides people buying in for flex, just because those real comic book investors or whatever collectors know that this isn't super valued in the real world and likely won't carry over. And this, hype is going to be due to the mints, but yeah.
40 secret rares, no way you got it.
Yeah, for real. Move floors between Saturday collectible drop. I think so. Phoebe knows what they're doing. They know how to shift markets, and yeah, I definitely think there's some stuff going on. Oh,
Bot's about to be in a feeding frenzy. LOL. I think 1K.
1K-ish.
Yeah, it's gonna sell out faster. It's gonna sell out like the 007 ticket.
I'm wondering if this suggests that Boba Fett is coming this weekend. Do you think
I
they do
think he
such
is
a
coming
big
this
comic
weekend.
drop and then such a big collectible drop, or you think they
Yeah.
drop more of a dud collectible after such a big comic drop?
This isn't that big of a comic drop though.
I mean, it's the only 1,000 mint comic drop, and it's one of the most rare collectibles and comics in the app dropping. Even though it's not super significant in real life, it's still in the app. It's significant.
Yeah, I think if it was like a Grail, then they wouldn't do Boba Fett. So the fact that it's not a Grail makes me think that it's probably Boba Fett.
What do you think, Beyond the Fan?
The only thing I'm thinking about is I think Boba Fett might come towards the end of like the actual end of the show.
Yeah.
To kind of get into all the hype of like the finale sort of thing. Because by that point, a lot of the spoilers are out. So I think I might wait and kind of capitalize on that. Whereas we do it on Saturday, like how many people actually know about Boba Fett compared to 5 weeks from now when it's almost finished and everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Plus, I'm thinking there's another drop that's supposed to have happened as part of the 12 days that got postponed.
Oh.
So I'm wondering when that drop's going to happen. If we're going to
wasn't there a couple that got
I think
postponed?
it was the toy company.
I know at least one, like the toy company, but I don't know if there's more because they said 12 plus drops. But I think in the end we got like 13 maybe or 14.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what that toy company is, but I'm so hyped about it. It could be that toy company.
The plushies or whatever, the squishy dudes.
I don't know, the one that I guess is crazy that we haven't seen yet or whatever.
Oh.
With the texture, because the texture isn't the Labbits.
Oh, that's interesting because the Labbits had that texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in the market, but I wouldn't be surprised if people might be gearing up to buy this. But I think, like we said, people who really know comics and stuff like that, I don't think that they're going to be doing this gem squeeze. I think this gem squeeze is mainly the result of like noobs or just new users thinking like, I should buy this. But I don't know if like seasoned users or whatever will be doing the same thing.
Oh my God, we're 36 minutes behind. Yo, let's go. Sleeping Comics, let's go.
Sell everything and buy. Love you guys.
Go.
Yeah. Love you too, Sleeping Comics. Shout out for all the support and the resource, that Veve Rank website. I'd love to hear Sleeping Comics' opinion on this, though, if you're still in here. I don't think we can use 0 to 10 grading. I think we need a different scale. Definitely agree. Yeah. Because it's disregarding all of those other mints in there, and it's just going by like the order. So definitely agree. But I'd love to know what Sleeping Comics thinks about this new one, because that's a game changer.
Do y'all have a Recur Pass? No, we don't. What do you think about Recur, Beyond the Fan?
I've not looked much into it, but I don't have one. I don't see the value just now in going for it. So I'd rather put the money elsewhere.
Yeah. None of the drops. Yeah, I don't know. We gotta talk about this in a whole video after we have like our thoughts put together completely. But
I definitely. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm not really interested in Recur.
As of right now, it's one of those things that you're blindly investing into. It's like those projects where like early access is like $1,100 or whatever, but you don't know what that's going to look like. You just see these brands that they've mentioned. You don't know what the product is going to look like. And if they come out with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle JPEG, I'm telling you, I'm not going to care. I don't think a lot of other people are going to care that much. So if they change it up and they like have like a game or something where you can like play Hello Kitty, if you own one of the NFTs from the Recur Pass, you can play as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That would be a game changer. Then I'd definitely support Recur. But as of right now, I don't think we've seen any products. We've just seen the little circle with the different colors and the supposed rarity with it. And so as much as that could be a hidden gem and like a gold mine, we don't know, and we haven't seen the product. And I've seen Veve's product. I've seen what Veve's done, and I'm a lot more confident in investing in that as opposed to something that's like a blind box still. So if I, ever figure out how to work a MetaMask and how to buy that stuff, then, maybe I'll look into it. If I have some extra money, I'll probably miss out. But yeah, as of right now, my thoughts are just, it's still kind of just blindly investing into something you don't know. You're buying into a brand and you're buying into Gary V hype, which, support for Gary V and all that, but just because his name is associated with it, I don't think it automatically means like we need to buy this. So I don't know. That's my take.
To me, like I said, I've not looked into it too much, but it seemed like a mystery box. So it's just buy in and you'll get a surprise, but we can't really tell you what it is, but it'll be worth it, trust us. And I like Gary V. I listen to all his videos, but he is a businessman and entrepreneur, so he's not going to invest in a product and come out and talk trash about it. He's going to hype it up because it's his bottom line is going to be affected by it. So interested to see what happens.
I think it's funny how he like talks about VV and stuff, and I think VV is just going to end up being a way better product than Recur, and like I think that's kind of why I didn't really touch on it much when he was talking to Dan because it's like I don't think he can like talk good about Veve because it's like their main competition right now. At least.
Yeah, and if you wanted to invest in Veve or buy it up or something like that, he'd want to talk it down to drive the price down first, so he can then scoop in. He's not going to big him up before he invests. I think it's going to cost him more to get in.
6 months from now, no one will care about the 6 months from now, no one will care that FA Deadpool has a Christmas sweater on. I see it going up in value no matter what, if it comes on or off. I agree. From here at this point, everyone's like, oh well, Christmas is getting over. Like, sell it now. So I think this will probably be the lowest point.
Yeah. It's at the bottom, going up from here, baby.
What's up, everyone? Let's go. The Triforce. Hey. Oh, Jaco got the full set of comics today. He is a whale. Jaco, you're a whale.
Yeah, pretty much. Ooh. Shout out to Jaco. Seriously, shout out to Jaco.
Yeah. Only super chatter.
Yeah, for real. And can't thank Jaco enough.
I think this was about the gems when we were talking about that before.
Also, shout out to everybody in here who said the specifics for the comic drop. Sorry, we got to that a little later, but
1,500 gems. Who should I buy? I was thinking Superman. I think Superman's good.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'd probably. Sorry, you go, Ben.
No, go ahead.
I'd probably say I probably wouldn't invest in just one thing at that. I'd probably diversify through a couple of blue chips, something like 3 or 4. Yeah. Rather than just buy a Superman.
Yeah, that's. Go ahead.
Beyond the Fan, do you know something about a Superman show coming out like within the next couple of weeks or something?
It's a season 2 of a Superman show coming out. It's on the CW and HBO Max, so it'll probably get a pump before it comes out.
Yeah,
because I was looking at that the other day because I literally searched about trying to find stuff coming out, and I saw that after I've literally searched Superman coming in 2022 probably 15 times, and then the other day, a couple days ago, I finally found that. I'm like, how does this randomly pop up when I search this many times?
It's called Superman and Lois is the actual title of the show. Yeah. So he was popping up in that. I think maybe be a cameo of Henry Cavill's Superman, an upcoming DC project, maybe Black Adam or Shazam 2. And I know Supergirl, a version of Supergirl will be appearing in the Flash movie that's coming out. I think it's next year it's coming out. So I expect all those to have a pump before those movies.
Yeah, I think for that Superman, if you're looking for something, I feel like Superman's pretty safe, but I definitely agree with Beyond the Fan in terms of diversifying that 1,500. If you already have a bunch of other stuff that you're set with, and Superman is the number one thing that you want, and you really want it, go for it. But I think you could pick up a C3PO, which is a blue chip, which should have future catalysts. I think that's for sure gonna maintain its value, if not increase in the future. And then you could pick up another thing for roughly 500, maybe Joker, Harley Quinn first appearance. There's a lot of other stuff. There's even some other golden moments that you could probably scoop for under 500, Wally, stuff like that. But yeah, I would consider diversifying, but if you're set on Superman, you really want it, you can't really go wrong with it, and we've seen it hit 1.9 before, and I think it's just a matter of time until it breaks 2K. But
yeah, so can somebody tell me what the Penguin character plays in Batman and stuff, because I really have no clue. I don't remember watching any Batman.
I vaguely know, but Beyond the Fan definitely knows.
Yeah, he's one of the villains. He's one of the Batman's rogues sort of thing. So he's been in the TV show for the 60s, and he was in Batman Returns in 92 with Michael Keaton's Batman. It was Danny DeVito that played him in that, and he's appeared in the comics and TV shows, etc.
Do you think out of compared, Joker, Penguin, Harley Quinn, I don't think there's any other Batman characters on the app right now, but how do you think Penguin compares, or Robin? I guess Robin is the only other. But where does Penguin stand on that tier list of first appearances?
I put him between Joker and Harley Quinn.
Okay, interesting.
So he's Joker's the most popular Batman villain.
Yeah,
but Penguin's is iconic, but he's not as popular, I don't think.
Yeah, and then you think Harley Quinn
is more appealing from a character point of view, because he's a villain. He can hurt people. There's Penguin's more of an old time gangster. Doesn't have any powers or stuff. It's nothing crazy. He's just like a mob boss that looks like a penguin.
Yeah.
So there's not a huge amount of pop culture appeal for him.
And
That's just my own opinion.
You think Harley Quinn sits under the Penguin on like a rank?
Just now, because she's not as popular. So Harley Quinn is unique that she showed up first in the cartoon TV show in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then made an appearance in the comic books. She's relatively new, whereas Penguin and Joker have been around for like the 50s and 60s. So there's just a built up, kind of zeitgeist of knowledge around them sort of thing. So we've had multiple versions of them and played by different people, whereas Harley Quinn, our first live action, really was Margot Robbie a few years ago in Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah. That's true, in like a movie. That's really interesting because like I don't know, I've seen like the old animated Batman, and Harley Quinn, like the first appearance we have on the app looked just like the animated Harley Quinn in that like TV series, and I love the artwork for that. Like I think the way they did that first appearance is so nice. Like I don't know, but I am really interested to see where the Penguin goes because I feel like it has been slept on and it's pretty underrated overall as a first appearance. But like Beyond the Fan said, I think it's just less popular. Even like compared to Harley Quinn now, I feel like maybe older users might be more, or like Penguin might be more appealing, but Harley Quinn, I feel like to newer users with like Suicide Squad and stuff like that, I feel like Harley Quinn might be more relevant to like our generation or something, but I could definitely be wrong.
You see them. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Harley Quinn also appears in an animated show that's ongoing just now, and she's going to be appearing in the Suicide Squad video game coming up.
Oh,
But the Penguin will also be in the new Batman movie coming out in March.
I need to see what's that new video game, the Suicide Squad video game.
I think it's just called the Suicide Squad. I just saw a trailer for it like a couple of weeks ago.
I gotta see that. I feel like
I think I watched
that
that last
video
night.
game.
It's the idea is the Justice League, like Superman's gone evil, and the villains have got to take down the heroes to save the world.
Hey, I didn't.
That looks
Yeah, that's cool.
that looks fun. Kill the Justice League 2022 gameplay trailer. Dang, I can't wait to see like some Suicide Squad characters on the app or on Veve, because I feel like that's possible at some point, right? Seeing like that alligator dude, and I don't know, maybe we'd even see the Harley Quinn and Joker version for Suicide Squad, and they'd be like one of the many appearances we've had of Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. You see them qualifying comics as full sets in the MCP soon. Also, don't forget to smash that like, peeps. Let's go.
Let's go.
I think before MCP comes out, they're definitely gonna have comics full sets like count. But I don't know. Do you guys think they're gonna count as half like points as a set would, or do you think they're gonna count as like a full set? Because you're already getting a lot of points for the comics in general, and the secret rare is like extra points than the collectibles. So, what do you guys think about that?
I think they'll probably bring it out as is just now and see how things go and maybe change things up, because you're getting so many points for having the comics as well as having like 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man as part of a series as well. I think there's so much going on that potentially Wales could stack up the points quite quickly.
Yeah,
Because the Wales will be going after the secret rares, etc. So I also think it might be influenced by total numbers. So like the set coming out on Thursday, would you get the same MCP points for those compared to 70,000?
I hope they do that for sure. Ben,
I feel like it would make sense to do that because it's a large investment to buy all those, and for some of the recent comics it might not be as much, but I mean you're looking at like roughly 800 for most of those sets, and even if they did it at like a discounted price, but I do think they should consider mint numbers in that.
all right, Ben, you have to prepare yourself. Okay.
Why? Let's go.
Donnie up to 2.3 thousand. Let's go.
It's gonna keep going, baby. People are slowly gonna catch on that IP isn't the only thing that exists. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ben's still critical of art, even though if he got an ultra 1 of 40, he'd be like, it's ugly, so I must sell it for floor.
I still think like I really hope we can convince some people to consider the product quality rather than just the name behind it. Like that's one of my goals, is to just get people and like make sure that they consider that stuff, because this is a question that someone asked, like, isn't anything animated special? If the animation appeals to you, yes. Like with the Mickey thing, I understand it's iconic. So in that aspect, I think, yeah, it probably is special due to like how iconic that is and stuff. In my opinion, the animation is pretty simple. I don't think it's crazy. It's not an animation that I would pay like $5,000 for. And so I don't know. That's where it gets subjective. You could make the argument that everything animated is special. I think it makes products more special, like the Deadpool and stuff. Like the animated, I think is cooler than the still in some cases. But at the same time, I think like, you know, consider the animation you're looking at, and if you like genuinely like it. And I don't think just blindly buying into something because it's animated, thinking that
Yeah.
it's supposed to be more valuable is the way to go. I just think, you know, use your thinker, and I don't know.
There's going to be
Just-
crazy animations in the
yeah,
future.
like we have the most rudimentary animations ever right now. Like I feel like in the future things are gonna get crazy. Like maybe we see Mickey do a backflip in the future. Who knows? We could see that.
Yeah, Randy was talking about he wants to see the Mickey from
Yeah.
what's the movie? I always forget it.
Fantasia.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like casting spells or something. It'd be like an animation of like
I think
some
that'll
magical stuff happening.
I think that could outdo the Steamboat possibly, especially if they pull that animation off right, because the Steamboat is just, it's so simple animations. It's just that little like hip swivel and stuff. And so I think if he's casting a spell and like floating around or something and his cape is moving,
if he's floating, that would be sweet.
yeah, I don't know, but I definitely think like just consider the product if you actually like it. And I don't, yeah, I definitely, whoever said that one comment about me, you got me teed down and right, because yeah.
No human will get this drop.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to Threat Level Worldwide. Book of Boba, baby, let's go. I don't know if I'm behind you or above you.
I'm at 6 minutes 33 right now, or 6 minutes. I'm at 30. I'm at minute 33, which is
What does that
6:33
mean?
for me.
What time are you?
I'm at 6:33 for me.
Oh, okay.
They seem to do a lot of additions for the things people love and fewer additions for random stuff. Yeah. A 40 edition Grail comic would go for way too much. Yeah. It would go for
Yeah.
crazy amounts. I bet the next like big Grail that comes out is going to be high mint. Like, I think we'll see way more than 60,000. What do you guys think the mintage would be for the, is it Amazing Fantasy or Fantasy 15 or whatever? The
Amazing
first
Fantasy
appearance of
15.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They've got to put like 150,000 editions.
I
or
hope
something.
not. I hope they do like 60K or 70K.
Same, but I do want.
They probably
so
will.
I also kind of want them to do high mintage.
Yeah, but like you have a pretty good chance of getting one at 60K. Like I feel like
True.
you can consistently get one at 30K. And so I feel
Yeah.
like 60K is a decent, because I don't want it to be like, I don't know, if there's like 100,000 editions of these comics and there's like, there was only ever like 50,000 printed in real life. I don't know. I'd like to see it kept similar and I don't know, lower in general, just because. But I know as we grow, they'll likely change that.
I don't think they know themselves yet. I think they're still testing
Yeah.
things out. So we'll see how it goes. So if we think actually we'll make more money doing 1,000, we'll do 1,000. If we think we'll make more doing 100,000, we'll do 100,000. Or they might decide to mix up and say it's like 90,000 commons and only 10,000 split between the other four. There's
True.
they don't have to kind of follow the same pattern of distribution as done in
Yeah.
the past. It's still up to them to change it, really. So
That would be cool if they did. Because how many secret rares are there for the like Marvel Comics #1? It's like
I don't know off the top of my
650 or
head.
something.
Yeah, I think
That'd be. I
600
think they
to
should keep it
1,000.
whatever that is, because then the price is going to be like at 100K or something for that.
Yeah.
15. This guy said he's calling it now. Toy company is
Jazzwares, Uncle Jeremy's company. They have very popular stuffed animal toys. Let me look this up. I'll look this up and then I'll share my screen. Jazzwares. Roblox.
never heard of it.
Jaco
Action
says you got to
figures and
recur
kids'
past just in
toys.
case. Okay. I see you.
Yeah, I definitely think recur is something, like if you have the money to and you're willing to risk it, I think for sure, because they could come out with some really cool products, but like I don't have much like capital or whatever to invest, and I'm very confident in Veve compared to that. And so recur
Yeah.
seems kind of B class, second rate. Lol, Care Bears really. I think it could be cool, but yeah, like I mean,
We just have to see what it is.
yeah, the thing that stuck out to me most is like the cartoon brands, and the one that really stuck out to me was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Besides that, I'm not big into like Hello Kitty. Care Bears I think would be kind of cool, but even then, like you're saying, it's just, I don't know. I think there's some cooler products on Veve that I'd rather invest in, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think Vive's got an advantage of having a mixture of things and plans for the future. Like, if you went with Rika or another, NFT provider, like, what do you do with your actual NFT? Like, how do you share into that? What's the interoperability with other systems? It's kind of closed off just now, so I'm like, I kind of stick with Vive, I think.
Yeah. And in terms of sports, like Veve announced, like Vive's gonna have sports. It's just a matter of when are they dropping them. So
Disney owns sports stuff, so
I think
ESPN
I mean they
stuff like
probably
that,
they probably
Hulu,
own ESPN and other stuff. They literally own like half the planet, bro. It's scary, but I definitely think like when we see sports stuff, I think they're gonna do it right. I don't know. I think
also a lot of stuff we tied up in license with other people just now. So we've probably got a limited things that you can actually license out just now because we've got pre-existing contracts with other people. So we had like the Spider-Man NFT for the upcoming movie. That's a Sony thing. So Sony actually own, I think, the rights to Spider-Man for like movies, but Disney still own the rights to merchandise. But we kind of share the profits in both. So there's probably a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't really know about. Like I'm still waiting for Jurassic Park stuff to come out.
Park.
I think I'll probably just wait till the third film from Jurassic World comes out and do it then.
Yeah, that is going to be sweet.
Okay, I gotta pull up this Jazzwares website because there's a lot going on here. They own Squishmallows, I think, or they have some tie to Squishmallows. So I'm wondering if the texture thing they mentioned is like fluffy texture, like plush, because I feel like there's a lot of plush products, and I was seeing a couple on this website, and the like Squishmallows or whatever are also plush, and I feel like that could be the texture they were talking about. Here we've got it though. They've got some Roblox stuff, Fortnite stuff, some little kid stuff, Nerf. Yeah, but here's some of the Fortnite stuff. But we look here. Oh, Pokemon. Let's go. UFC.
Pokemon's coming out Saturday. Let's go.
Yeah. I think these are really cool though. It's like a interesting, like block type take on some like Avengers, Transformers, or maybe they're not all block, but I don't how do I view this? I don't know. Do I have to add this? Ooh. I don't know. I think I would love to see some stuff like this though. I love the classic
Imagine if they came out with that exact they're all separate. I thought it was one big statue. I was like, imagine they came out with that statue as the first appearance of all those characters.
Honestly, though,
Crazy.
looking at this gives DC Artist Alley vibes, but I mean, they could drop all of these in one set. Like they could have 2B commons, 2B uncommons,
that would be cool.
One rare, one ultra rare, and one like secret rare or something. And this would be
I don't know if they do that, but
only if I think about it. So Jazzware's like another company like Veve that's bought the license. They've got the license rights to this merch. So if they wanted to do like Transformers and Veve, I think you'd have to go to the actual owners of Transformer, not Jazzware. So
yeah, that is true. I'm just dreaming here. That's all.
But Transformers would be a great one to have on the app, just for the animation purposes. It transforming from like a car into a robot and back again.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
If they do that, those are gonna take off, and I'm kind of scared because I feel like Voltron will get left in the dust and slept on. But I do think if they do that animation, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of different products here, so I'm interested to see.
Robots caught my eye as well because I think that'd be a good one to have on the app.
Yeah, especially
Roblox itself is kind of like a metaverse, really. So
yeah, and like interoperability or whatever. I mean, because Roblox has been killing it, and like realistically, I feel like they've been killing it as a game, like making money, bringing in revenue, keeping people playing because like it's still popular among little kids or some people. I know even like adults who play it. So I definitely think, and like seeing interoperability or whatever, like if you could get an NFT on Veve and then play as that on Roblox and it's super exclusive skin or something,
that'd be so awesome. Cool.
They
got to do that with Fortnite. Yep.
Yeah, they got to do it with Fortnite. Let's see though.
I'm actually surprised they haven't done it already. Like have an NFT skin.
I think they will. I definitely think they will because I don't remember what account it was, but I found some like weird account that had a bunch of like leaked stuff like a long time ago on Veve, and then one of the things was like a perfect looking Fortnite skin, and it was like a Fortnite girl. It was literally perfect. Like I honestly think it was from Veve, but I don't know. That's speculation. This person is selling their kidney soon. Easy $262,000. Hope the surgery tomorrow goes well. And after that, I'm buying everything. You could buy a Donnie, Secret Rare Spider-Man. You could buy some Rissos. Ooh, that's honestly, I got to look into that too.
This was Risso. I mean, thinking about it, I think Risso is the move. If Todd overtakes Risso, I can see that, but ultimately, Risso's the gatekeep for owning that whole set. And I mean, only 1,700. This for the $400 to $500. This is definitely another pickup in that range. You can do the next ones if you want, Carter.
This person said I sold Coke Globe. I sold Secret Rare Coke Globe and Common Mickey. Those two paid for my whole investment so far. Let's go.
Let's go.
Not gonna lie, 3 Recur has a lot of catching up to do with IPs compared to VV. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, we still don't know the product. Like, what does the Recur NFT like? What do they actually look like? Because if they are JPEGs, I really think it's not going anywhere. At least until they switch it up. Because
I don't think they will be. I really hope they're not. If they, I think anybody that has a Recur Pass, if they are 2D, I think everyone's gonna be upset. I don't think they're gonna be 2D.
Yeah, I think it would make the most sense if they're not 2D, just because like we need to see some more like game changing, and I feel like that's what Recur is like kind of being promoted as, but I don't know.
Kobe collects. Let's go, boys. I had you on this whole time while working. I can't stress how important and valuable these hangouts and discussions are. Keep it up. The consistency is so great. Let's go, Kobe collects.
Yeah, shout out to Kobe collects. If you don't know his channel, go check it out. Does some very, very interesting content. Got like personalized blind boxes there and stuff. Definitely go check it out. Cool place to hang out as well. And he's been spitting some gems. I've been in there before, and he said some things that really resonated with me, and I don't think are emphasized enough within the community. So definitely check that out. Also, if it's too late for you to be on the fan at any point, just let us know.
That's fine.
Okay, because I don't know what time it is.
It's just about midnight.
Yeah.
we got 9 more minutes. If that's
until
yeah,
because
then it'll be like 2 hours
for the 2 hour mark. That's right.
Yeah. Fantastic Four #1 fire. Let's go. That's true. King Kong, I'd buy 3 Jokers maybe. Yeah, Jokers looking like a nice pickup. 4 Harley Quinns maybe. Yeah, that's looking like a nice pickup too. Harley Quinn FA comment. Yo, I've seen that. Sorry, this is the only comment we pulled up, but there's been a lot of comments. Let's go. Look, there's another one right there. Oh, but that's Random Hero. V-Vision, Little Bro. Just watch Gotham, great series, and Penguin is one of the main villains. I gotta check that out.
Yes, sir. I want to see that original animated first, though. Low key. What do you think? This is a good question for a Beyond fan. If we're gonna watch, because I'm not big into like Marvel or superhero movies in general. If I'm gonna watch something Marvel or DC TV series or movie, what is the best you've seen? And it can be in the past too. It can be some like old show or anything, or maybe even like top 3, because I need to culture myself on some of this stuff.
So I'd probably say like all time for me it was Batman the animated series from the 90s.
Ooh, okay.
Because like I had the first appearance of Harley Quinn, but also the voice actor that did Batman. He was the first actor to give Batman and Bruce Wayne 2 different voices. So up to that point, everybody playing Batman just did the same voice for both.
Yeah, like
whereas I think it was Kevin Conroy as the actor. He came up with the idea of doing 2 different voices for the character. So there's a lot of good storylines in that, and we've talked recently about remaking it and bringing it back out again. So definitely for me, that was like, for me it's all 90s stuff.
Yeah.
So like X-Men from the 90s and Spider-Man from the 90s, the cartoon shows, was like my introduction into Marvel, DC, and comics and stuff like that.
Is the X-Men animated, the TV program?
Yeah, it's on, I think X-Men and Amazing Spider-Man's both on Disney Plus as well.
Oh, yo, I gotta check that out.
Let's go, Jayco. Let's go.
What'd he say?
He sent me $10.
Bruh.
Let's go.
Shout out to Jayco, man. For real. Can't thank you enough for the super chats.
Let's go. I'm so hyped. Thanks, Jayco.
Those unofficial super chats be hitting real extra.
He sent me a screenshot of his account, and he is a whale. Mans is a whale. Like, whale.
Yeah. Did you DM me? I can check this quick, but I haven't been on Discord. I don't know. I don't know where you put the paragraph, but DM me and we can try to figure that out.
What's the best buy if I sell my Labicorn? I'm liking the Labicorn. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you should probably keep it for a little longer until the mutable.
If you're dropping that, I would go season 1 or blue chip basically. But yeah, I don't know. I think there might be a better opportunity in the future to buy in on Labbits, just because I feel like we'll see a big drop. Labbits will get slept on. People, I think, will forget about the breeding aspect, and we've got time before that breeding was proposed. And so I think there's a lot of time that you could possibly buy back if you're really interested. Because I don't see Labbits like taking off right now just because
Unless
there
a
isn't
mutable X gets released like
that's true.
in a week.
That is the only other catalyst besides like breeding and stuff that I think could really boom Labbits, and we've seen it.
But I think,
happen
I don't know.
before.
I think that's coming real soon because we saw a little jump in the neon price
That is
yesterday.
true. Oh, that's true. So disregard what I said. Definitely keep a mutable X in mind. And if you're looking to flip, wait to do it until after mutable X, because I think that's when we'll see a major pump in those.
Yeah.
And Beyond the Fan, do you know if they've released details about like Disney going on to other platforms or other marketplaces? Because the Disney will be on a mutable X, right? It's just we don't know if they'll be on other platforms.
That's my understanding. Yeah, so I've not listened to the latest like sort of Twitter space or Telegram stuff, but last time I checked, that's what we were talking about. So it'll be on, but not on other things.
Yeah, not on like OpenSea or other marketplaces besides Immutable X. Okay.
Y'all have a Discord. Yeah, the Discord is in pretty much any of our recent videos. If you go down to the description, it says join the Discord server. Click that.
Yes, sir.
Hop in.
We got like 800 members or something in there. It's crazy.
We got
maybe even 900.
There's like 1,100 or something in the Discord, but unofficial. How many Rissos is my liver worth?
15.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Maybe like 20, 25, but yes, sir. Thank you, Jaco.
Okay, we don't got much more time. What are we thinking for comments?
I need to get down to where you are. I'm way behind. Carter, you about to, yeah, for real.
Not Carter, compared to Jaco, not even close to Jaco. I'm like a minnow compared to Jaco. Do you sell? Is that the skateboard? Oh no, wait. No, that's a poster.
Electric Lola, is one of those posters for Common Mickey to complete set.
To complete the set, I would.
Probably.
Yeah, if you're needing a Common Mickey to complete your set, then definitely go for it. Right?
That's an easy.
Especially just now because it's dipped a little. Last I checked, it's down to like 400.
Yeah. Mint number 95, Common Mickey. Hold or sell for blue chips. That's one you can always hold. Like you can always hold that.
I would hold that.
Yeah, it's always gonna keep going up. So
I would maybe list it for like a price ahead of its time, kind of like a future really good price that you're willing to sell it for. But I still think hold that just because when VV Vision monetization, when Patreon, we'll see. We can try to focus on a Patreon maybe, but we just weren't sure. Like we were thinking for Patreon, like, do we make extra content? Because we were more so just thinking we do it. So it's like, if you want to donate, you can donate, but we don't know if we do like extra content or how we do it. We still have to figure that out.
Because we still are putting out like 2 videos a day. So it's like,
regardless.
At that point,
so what else do we do?
We already do everything.
One of the comments you fit for was about the comic coming out on Thursday being like first appearance of the black costume, but I don't think VV count comics is like first appearance because Deadpool FA is the collectible, not the comic.
Yeah,
I think that's just interesting to kind of point out.
Because you're right. The real Deadpool first appearance is New Mutants.
Yeah,
so
and it even says that in the description of the comic. This is Deadpool's first appearance in the comic, but on the actual app, the FA goes to the collectible. I'm assuming because there's a distinction in their mind between a collectible and a comic, but
I think they're keeping that line just because, I mean, they can make more money that way too if they have a first appearance of both, because people probably buy into both for that reason. But I could be wrong, but I definitely think that it would make sense for them.
Top Killer and EL are getting into it in the comments. It's
I
about to be a
can't see
brawl.
it.
They're about to
Where?
fight. I don't
Not-
know. They're just arguing. Do you guys think mid number will be a bigger deal once IMX comes around? I really think IMX is it's gonna pump up a lot of the things like that. Obviously, are gonna be going to Mutable X first, but in reality, I think it's all gonna come back to Veve. Like, I don't think people are gonna be like keeping their stuff off Veve. I think it's all gonna end up coming right back to Veve, especially if Disney and stuff can't go off.
Yeah.
It's also what can you do with it in the future? So if a
Yeah.
Viviverse is a thing, what's the point of being on OpenSea when you can't get into the Viviverse just to go back to it? So
And then you
Yeah.
can't get the master collectors.
Third party metaverse where you can upload your VV collectibles and stuff to use. But I don't know. It's all huge speculation for the future.
Yeah, I think I feel like you might be able to take off everything eventually on the app, but I mean, still, you're not going to be getting the master collectors points if they're off the app and stuff. So I don't really see the point. I think for whales though that have like 5, 6, 7 secret rare Spider-Mans, I think being able to take those off and putting them on like a ledger or something, that would be really big because that would just make it super safe. Even though keeping it on Veve kind of is safe because they can give you your stuff back, but just, I mean, on a ledger, you have it yourself. Like, you can do whatever you want with it at that point.
Will we be able to list on IMX while still using and holding our collectible on Veve? Or like, will it have to be transported to IMX and we can't use it while it's listed? Because that
I think it has to be transferred.
Yeah,
because you could have it listed both. You could have it listed in Veve Marketplace and on IMX at the same time if you don't.
Yeah. So that's why I think like nobody's gonna take it off, because at that point it's like, I don't know. I think it's just, I think they're doing it more for the point like we have at real NFTs that can be taken off the platform. I don't think many people are actually going to take them off. It's literally just like for the factor of saying you can do it.
Yeah.
Because like that's the same thing when we can take our money out. I don't think a lot of people are even going to take their money out. I think it's just the fact that you can take your money out, tell people that you can take your money out and stuff. I think a lot of people are going to keep all their money in.
They just need to remove those like limits for the 350 or like the $500 a day, or I don't even know, just like the limits on buying gems. They need to make it so you can do crypto to gem easy and do like large amounts of crypto to gem and just large amounts of USD or fiat to gem, because
I mean,
so I was just going to say, I think once you can take money out of the app, I think more people will be encouraged to put money in, because at the moment you put money in, you can't get it back out. There's no guarantee it back out. But once you know you can get it back out, people much more ought to put in 50 gems worth of stuff just now, because you know you can get it back out at some point.
Yeah. Last question: thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man comic? We were already talking about this earlier, but last thoughts on it. What are you guys thinking? You guys are both holding if you get like a common, right? Or if you get
I would be. If I get anything from that drop, I'd be holding it.
Yeah.
It's super rare, so I don't know. That's going to be crazy. The prices are going to be quite bonkers compared to what we've seen with some of the other comics recently.
I think probably a hold, but if it's too tempting, I might take profit and reinvest, because if it's like, I don't know, 8K for like a common or something, I'd probably take profit, reinvest, buy some. Like I'm just saying, because like, I mean, things didn't happen as we expected with like Mickey originally, and so I don't know, maybe there's a curveball here, but
I definitely agree.
Have to wait and see.
I feel like the common's going to be around 1K.
Definitely think that's the safety, maybe even like 600 to 800 low, but I think 1K will be that like low threshold.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up for.
Sorry, go ahead.
Any last words?
No, I was gonna say, I feel sorry if anyone picks it up tomorrow and puts it back up for like 15 gems if it really.
Yeah, it's gonna happen too. Yeah. There's gonna be some people who have no idea how lucky they got. So hopefully,
I wonder. Some people I feel like can't even like. I don't even think some people realize that you can check the floor price of stuff, because like you'll just see them pop up and it's like, what are you doing? Like, they're so far under. All right. I think that wraps up for the live stream. Everybody go check the link in the description. It's Beyond the Fans channel. Go over there, subscribe to him, and watch his latest video. Drop a like on his video. Drop a like on our video. It's all
shout shout out to the 150 to 170 people who were sticking
Yeah.
around and here the whole time. This is a pretty big live stream for us. We usually don't maintain those numbers. So shout out to
Yeah, let's
everybody in here.
go.
Yeah, thanks
Shout out
in
to
the comments.
Yeah, for
Let's
real.
go.
But yeah, shout out Beyond the Fan. Check his channel out. And this was awesome. Finally made it happen. We'll have to have you on
Yeah.
again at some point. But it was nice to have the resource on the spot for like Marvel stuff too. Cause like we
Yeah.
have no idea about that stuff. So it was nice. But
Let's
yeah.
go.
I really had a good time being on the stream.
Yeah, I was glad to have you. We'll have to do it again.